How to start a YouTube channel that grows and makes you a ton of money for your business. This video comes after 7+ years of experience on this YouTube platform after gaining over 220,000 subscribers and crossing over 10 million organic YouTube views on the platform. So beyond those reasons, why should you listen to me? Well, let me tell you, I have a long history on this platform of experience, okay? Heartbreaking experience that has been triumphant. Check this out. I have been hacked. I've had my YouTube channel deleted and hacked before. I've been hated on. I've collaborated with some of the biggest names in our industry. I've had YouTube channels die and come back to life. But most importantly, beyond what I have accomplished, I generated my first 7 figures of revenue organically, purely from YouTube traffic. But most importantly, I've helped hundreds of business owners, YouTubers, and subject matter experts dominate on this platform and generate collectively over $4 million, gain over 500,000 subscribers on the platform, and generate millions of views for their business, their families, and their impact. But just for fun, to cross my T's and dot my I's, what I did was I researched a couple of other well-known YouTubers in the space to make sure that what I was fact-checking and saying in this video is the latest and up-to-date.
What I would prioritize if I had to go back to the beginning and start from zero on any of these platforms.
Your niche is the number one thing you want to start off with.
If I had to start a YouTube channel from scratch with absolutely 0 followers, this would be my exact plan to build a platform that stands the test of time.
You can get these 3 things right, then you're completely off to the races and your channel will explode and you'll become a millionaire. So in this video, I'm gonna take my last 6 years of experience on YouTube.
All right, I think I got it. So what I've noticed in the YouTube industry is that there are hundreds, if not thousands of videos and tutorials out there teaching about growing on YouTube and the actual strategy of posting, optimizing, scripting, filming, editing, etc., etc. But there's one big gap in that education that is missing. Oh, actually, 2. Where the YouTube help education industry really lacks is not teaching the assets, the systems, and the team that you need behind a channel to really scale it to a moon so that your YouTube channel can operate and flow like butter. So what this tutorial is going to offer you is how to build a repeatable, durable asset and system that generates you a ton of brand awareness, views, leads, and sales for your business this year and beyond. I'm going to make a very bold claim here and say that this is the one and only YouTube for Business masterclass full guide on the internet that is complete from launching to relaunching a channel to starting it from scratch, optimizing it, monetizing it, pivoting your YouTube niche, but most importantly, setting up the content creation systems and workflow and the team that is going to support you and scale with you along your YouTube journey. And what better way to learn from someone who has done all of the aforementioned? Me. All I ask for return in all of this effort is that you give this video a like, share it with somebody who needs it, and comment execute if you are not just going to watch, but you're fired up to implement and get down to business. And without further ado, let's get started. All right, to start off, let's talk about one of my favorite topics on this planet, and that is money. There was one time I saw this chick on YouTube. I don't know what she was doing. All I know is that she was talking about something about planting money trees, and she spoke about how easy it was to plant money trees. She was literally watering money trees in her backyard. Now, my favorite thing about the YouTube platform is that it's the #1 social media where you can literally plant money seeds, aka by posting a video that is evergreen, that is going to make you money for years to come, just from posting one video. I've been able to generate at least 50 videos that have yielded me 5 figures in revenue through one source of income or another. But there's a big problem nowadays in the industry with the introduction of AI content and trash content and people entering this platform with the wrong intention and that they only want to make money and monetize, and that's their only why of wanting to do it. That's not going to last. There's no love in that. There's no creativity. There's no integrity. It's just not genuine, and it's not going to work long term. Now, for this reason, and as a disclaimer, this video is tailored toward a very specific audience, you business owners out there, you high achievers, you coaches, consultants, service providers, authors, speakers, subject matter experts who would like to amplify your heart-centered message and your unique talent to planet Earth. Let me explain that growing YouTube channels, getting sales, generating leads, getting organic views on the platform is a derivative of being able to find your message, that mission, right, that lights your soul on fire. The goal is to speak that message and scale that message online, right? And that's where I come in my team, and what this tutorial is going to bring to you. And if that's you and you're nodding your head, I can definitely help you, and this tutorial will give you loads of insight. Be sure to take notes. It's a long one, and please go back and replay it as much as needed. Okay, so going back to diving into the money aspect of YouTube, let's just talk all things YouTube money and offers. So one of the number one questions I get all the time is what offer or what product sells the best on YouTube? The answer is all of them, right? YouTube traffic will sell anything. It really, that's what it boils down to. Okay, there's no one magical price point or offer that it works the best for. Again, disclaimer, this video is tailored for business owners. So what I'm going to talk about a lot today are a lot of products and services in these three categories. So I want to define them. And those are low ticket offers, which consist of digital products, ebooks, templates, mini courses, presets, design stuff, all those. There's a huge list of low ticket things you can sell, right? And if you have a low ticket item, it's probably, the way I define it is it's less than $100. Anywhere from $7 to $100 is a low ticket product. Okay, there's a mid ticket. I didn't even put mid ticket. So mid ticket is an offer that's priced between $100 and $500. And anything high ticket, I know between $500 to $1,500 is kind of that awkward area. It's is it mid ticket or high ticket? I've heard it be called both. To me, that's still mid ticket. And the way I separate the two is I sell a product under $500 straight from a sales page. But if something costs more than $500, between $500 and $2,000, I sell it with a webinar sales funnel. And we'll talk about funnels in this tutorial as well. So high ticket. Okay, so this is anything priced over $2,000 and above, anywhere from $10,000, $20,000, $100,000. It doesn't matter how many zeros you want, but this is typically where you're a service-based business owner, coach, consultant, agency, and you have a service that costs a lot of money because you provide a premium service that really transforms your clients' results. Okay, so these are the way that I break down a product suite into those different categories. And as I mentioned, the great thing about YouTube is it drives traffic to whichever product you want to promote the most. And the other thing I wanted to mention was memberships, because that's kind of a hybrid type offer in between these. So a membership is a recurring payment subscription. It can be a high ticket membership, low ticket membership, all kinds of different prices. It could be month to month. You could have a membership that you charge 3 months at a time for, a yearly membership. It could be a physical product membership. And that brings me to my next category of products you can sell on YouTube. And that is a physical product. Okay, you can sell anything from very high fine art that costs 30 grand and above to digital art prints, to anything that you promote on your e-com stores. If you have an Etsy store, a print on demand store. So anything physical that has to be shipped, packaged, and delivered to a customer, that is definitely something you can sell on YouTube. And just to debunk kind of part 2 of this is I get, well, which niches or which business categories will work the best on YouTube to sell? My niche is so specific, I don't know if it will sell. And my thing is there is a category, a niche for everyone on this planet. Okay, so we've meaning myself and my team, we've coached hundreds of business owners with all types of different business backgrounds, everywhere from basketball coaching to real estate to ballerina, to hairstylists and being a hairdresser, to personal finance, insurance brokers, credit card specialists, singing coaches, meditation, fitness, wellness, spirituality, you name it. And I've 99% more than likely have seen it in one of our clients or on a specific YouTube channel on the platform. Now let's talk about some YouTube mistakes, because this is a category that definitely matters. Over my career, could probably list at least 100 mistakes that other creators are doing. And I don't want to spend too much time on mistakes because I'm going to be teaching how not to make mistakes in this mega tutorial. But basically what I want you to drop what you think you know about YouTube. And that first thing is using YouTube ads to grow your channel. That's a big mistake I see. It could stunt the growth of your channel. I would stay far, far away from leveraging paid ads to grow a channel, because it no longer becomes organic and it will stunt growth. The next one is every thumbnail should look different. Do not make every thumbnail look different. Make sure that your whole channel has the same color palette, font, and style, making it look like the colors of the rainbow and a collage of different pictures thrown together. That's just not okay. The other mistake I hear all the time is thinking, and this is more for people new and getting started, is thinking that, oh, but I will run out of content ideas. It's literally impossible. Like, you genuinely, we are all creators at our core of some type or another. It is literally impossible, right, that our mega computer in here will run out of ideas to post on your channel. The other mistake I hear is that I have to post YouTube shorts. Now, I absolutely do not like YouTube shorts. I recently did a tutorial on this channel about why I refuse to post YouTube shorts, and I never will. I will link that in the description below. But the whole point of the video is I prove, literally statistically, from the data we have on YouTube, both my team and what the industry says, that growing a YouTube channel with shorts is like trying to build muscle and burn fat on empty calories, right? Sugars, donuts, processed food, because the quality of shorts traffic is not the same as long form. And then you might argue back, well, what if I use shorts to funnel people from my short to my long form? It's just a huge risk. I would stay far away from YouTube shorts. The other mistake I see is repurposing content from other platforms. I'll see someone post an entire Zoom call as a YouTube video on their channel, and that is a huge no-no. You can't. You have to make original content for your YouTube channel. And as far as branding, and again, we will dive into branding you can look at the timestamp in this video, but branding, I see this a lot, people using the same Canva templates, and it's very obvious, and I could spot it from a mile away. Like, stop using super popular Canva templates for your thumbnails. I guess it's better than nothing, but really, if design isn't your sweet spot and your talent, I would definitely get a graphic designer to help you make professional looking thumbnails that really shine and make your brand stand out. The other big mistake I see is people making topics on their channel too broad too soon. So what this means is that a channel has a purpose with content pillars, but what people try to do is they try to make a variety of different topics, and they say like, oh, I'm just gonna throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks type thing. And that's the wrong approach, right? You do not want to post a ton of different topics and so many different niches and sub niches to see what sticks. That's just going to confuse the algorithm and stunt your growth for a very long time. Now, please don't skip this section about mind growth, and that's my version and way of saying mindset. None of the things I will talk about today will work if you don't have this mindset. I promise you it will not. This applies to, I don't care how far along you are on YouTube, in business, it doesn't matter, right? The mindset that you have to have as a creator on this platform, if you really want to succeed in YouTube for your business, is always have the enthusiasm that you are just one view away from connecting with your perfect customer or client. This is what excites me every single time, is like, hey, you know what? I am leveraging YouTube to drive sales, generate leads for my business. And every day I get excited of the possibility that I am literally just not only one video, but one view away from meeting my next customer or client and connecting with someone who really, really needs it. As I mentioned, you'll have everything in this video and what you need to scale on YouTube, but day to day, the thing that's going to hold you back is fear, right? And all the head trash that is telling you like not enough views and this, and oh, but my strategy is wrong and this and that. It's all a lie, right? And it's all a belief that can easily be shifted on the platform. And I also want to say that there's no such thing as passive income, especially with YouTube. YouTube is not passive at all, ever. It's going to take not only upfront work if you are getting started on the platform, but also maintenance and proactive work in order to keep this machine going. Can you take a sabbatical? Can you take a vacation? Yes, absolutely. But it is definitely, as I mentioned, a proactive effort where you are going to have to commit day by day, month by month, week by week, and be strategic about it. And the other thing, going back to the fear, right? Even though this video is hours long, this really is just the tip of the iceberg, right? And everything else you got to do underneath the tip of the iceberg to make it work, right? And to constantly refine your skill set as a creator and to want to do this and to want to show up. So again, I mentioned my mantra is I'm always just one view away from making that next sale to the perfect client or the perfect customer, okay? The more you output, the more you post, the snowball effect will grow and grow and grow of you having the ability to really connect with hundreds, thousands, and millions of people on this platform. Another big, huge mindset shift that I had to make and encourage you to make is that, you know what? It is a privilege that you get to do this, right? It's a privilege that you get to create content and be able to have that conviction and excitement every day that anything is possible and that you are in sole control of creating this brand that eventually millions of people will see, right? And the other thing that's cool about that is like, you know, the possibilities are endless day to day, video by video, right? Your next video could book you 3 sales calls. It could make you a $20,000 sale. Your next video can change the trajectory of someone's life forever. The most successful YouTubers focus purely on the output and what they're doing and the effort they put day to day in their craft, and don't focus on the details that don't matter, like, oh wait, will this video really make money? Will this video go viral? They don't care. They do it because it's heart-centered and heartfelt. Speaking of heart-centered and heartfelt, love. Okay, this might sound kind of cringy to some of you, but love is the number one thing that will grow your channel. Okay, you gotta really love what you're doing. I mean, and genuinely love it. All right, there will be times you won't feel like filming. The sense of why has to have the vibration of love, because with love, there's also high frequency feelings like inspiration, creation. These are all very, very important to making a channel go viral, because people will feel, your audience will feel when that love is gone, and then they will leave and they will never subscribe. So all that to be said is it is your responsibility to fuel the fire. Okay, this is the number one platform, we all know that, to create content, generate leads and sales for your business. I mean, there are 4 or 5 billion views per day on this platform. It is the platform that will give your business that solar power energy and that consistent flow of traffic, no matter what other social media platform you're leveraging. It'll keep the lights on in your business so that you don't have to leverage paid ads. I mean, you can leverage paid ads if you want to. And so with that also being said, focus on your output. This is the biggest mindset shift as well. It's like, okay, what strategy do I have to do to be successful? How do I get to 100K subscribers the fastest? That's the wrong goal. Your output and your goal right now should be, how do I post consistently my next 100 videos on this platform, on this channel, and build my back catalog of YouTube videos the fastest? That is the only thing you should be caring about, because that is the only thing that you have control over, is your output. Okay, so let's talk about funnels and the funnels you should and shouldn't be using on YouTube. All right, just gonna say right then and there that they all work. Okay, it doesn't matter what type of funnel you use, they all work. Now, here's the caveat though, you do need a funnel, right? So if you're watching this, I'm assuming you are a business owner, you have a website, lead magnet, etc., because it's like a YouTube channel is pointless if you have a bunch of views and nowhere to funnel people, nowhere to get people off and in your CRM, your orbit, so that you can sell to them, right? So let's talk about my favorite funnels for YouTube. Okay, and the first one, and this is kind of like ranging, right? These funnels vary from high ticket funnels to low to free, etc. So the first one is a book a call funnel. And this could also be an application funnel. So as an example of this, I have all of these in the description, by the way, for my own services. So you'll be able to check them out. But basically, a book a call funnel is a landing page with a headline, right? And a sub headline that basically says the core outcome of what your high ticket service offers. So in my case, for example, if you go to marissaromero.com/start, this is a book a call funnel, but / application funnel, because those who work with me seriously, I want them to apply seriously and fill out the questions. And I want to understand who you are before we engage or anything. So this is an example of my book a call funnel, and it has a headline, kind of a sub headline explainer phrase, but I say like, discover how we help our clients power their next 100K to 1 million without burnout in just 2 hours a week of filming. So that speaks to exactly who my client avatar is. It gets people's attention. It's right there at the top of the page. Okay, then there's a sub headline, and then there's a quick 3-minute video on the page that talks about why apply, who it's for, just a really quick glimpse of our explanation of the services that we offer and how you can work with us at the one-on-one level. And then I have another little box that talks about like what we've been able to accomplish at a glance with previous clients, like helping 7-figure YouTuber businesses, helping clients add 4, 5, 6-figure cash injections with organic traffic, all the kinds of stuff. So installing a YouTube team into their business, etc., etc. And then I have a place where it says, please read. And this is basically like disclaimer, please be serious, fill out the questions honestly. Like, don't just put like NA and no, don't, and take, 5 seconds to fill out. I really want these to be thoughtful answers, or else we won't consider the application. And then, yeah, that's basically it. So it's kind of a little bit lengthier, but the other way that I had it was that the landing page had still the same like header and sub headline, but it just had an opt-in to learn more. Meaning, in order for them to see my video sales letter, all they had to do was give me their name, email, phone number, and that was it. So I wanted to really tighten the application to like stop people who were just look-seers and, just putting scam email addresses, people trying to reverse engineer my funnel. I wanted to really exclude those people from being able to opt in and see the information, because that just doesn't make sense. So then book a call funnel, after the landing page, after they opt in, then they are going to go to a thank you page, which also serves as a video sales letter. And a video sales letter is kind of like a webinar, but it's not, because a video sales letter is a lot shorter, typically between 6 to 15 minutes. Of course, mine is on the longer side because I only make long videos any and everywhere I go. So my VSL is 14 minutes and 22 seconds. And it's just a really good video. Like, it explains our service completely, who it's for. It talks about like the investment levels, like of how we charge, meaning we say it ranges from mid 4-figure investment to a low 5-figure investment to work with us. And then the call to action right below the video is, book your enrollment call, book your strategy call, so that we can see if we're a mutually beneficial fit. So the other thing that I have right below the VSL are our frequently asked questions. So I have a list of FAQs. It kind of takes everything I talked about in the VSL and it summarizes the most popular asked questions. And I talk about how our Ascend program, it's a combination of done for you work and services and coaching and consulting. So we do that together, right? And then I also have a bunch of testimonials on the page. And this is really important, in my opinion, on the VSL page, to have testimonials of your clients. It could be anywhere from, 4 testimonials to as many as you want to put, honestly. So there's several calls to actions to book a strategy call / enrollment call. That's basically the design of a book a call funnel. After that, depending on what they do, whether they apply and book right away or whether they apply and don't book right away, there is a text message sequence and an email sequence that emails out several emails telling people, hey, you haven't booked your call yet, book a call here, book a call here. And so that way it's just stronger because people forget. We get really distracted pretty easily in today's day and age. So we have the reminder, text, and email sequences for whatever action they take. Okay, so that is the book a call funnel. Now, I don't have an example of this because I don't have an active one right now, but the next one is called a webinar funnel. And I go like this just to show the little funnel, how everyone thinks of a funnel, like a cone and everything. All right, I digress. All right, webinar sales funnel. That is for typically a product that is less than $2,000. Sweet spot being, between 500 and 1,000. 500 to 2,000 is like where you would use a webinar sales funnel. So a webinar sales funnel is typically automated. It is approximately, this is the ironic part, is it's very long. Like when I had my webinar sales funnel that promoted my $1,500 course, it was very long. It was like 90 minutes. Okay. And people opted in. They were able to watch the entirety of the funnel, but basically all webinar funnels kind of look the same. It's an introduction. You talk about who you are, who you help, who you serve. It talks about your proprietary frameworks and the methods that you use to solve a problem for your customers. So for example, decluttering, right? I'm just choosing the decluttering niche as an example. You can have a webinar that's like, hey, discover the 3 methods that I use to declutter my house and X, Y, and Z and without blah, blah, blah. I can't even think of a good title for decluttering, but hey, I know that is a super popular niche. And I know a girl who's doing $1 million a year in her decluttering coaching business. So it works. Okay. But so webinar sales funnel, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of animations because you have to create triggers and workflows for what the actions that people do and don't do. So for example, if people register for the webinar, but they don't attend, there's an email sequence for that. If people register for the webinar, watch maybe the first 5 seconds and they don't finish, there's an email sequence for that. If they register, watch the webinar and they finish, but don't buy, there's an email sequence for that. So it could get very complicated. And that's why I don't have one at the moment. I used to use the webinar sales funnel for years. It's a good funnel, but it's just a lot of moving parts. And then the other type of funnel, honestly, is a sales page. I use sales pages on my YouTube channel all the time, but just for my products that are under 500. So I have 3 digital products that I'm promoting right now. One's called Systems, one's called Monetization Lounge, and one's called Fast Track. And I'll leave the links to all of those courses in the description, of course. But what I want to say is you will see a format of sales page on every single one of them. And so I send people and drive traffic directly to these sales pages. I make them, in my opinion, very high converting. I mean, if you look at the anatomy of a sales page, there's quite a bit of categories, but once you do one, you can easily use that as like a template and duplicate that out to create your future sales pages. But a really good, solid sales page will have, the title of the course at the top, the headline, subheadline, what it solves, how quickly you can get through the course, how quickly you can expect your first quick win. It'll talk about what's in the course, what are the phases that they'll go through, what's included, the bonuses that included. It'll have testimonials. It will have some background information about you. It will have some background information about the thing you are promoting, right? So in my case, of course, I promote YouTube and I talk about why YouTube is the best platform on the planet for business owners. So I give data and some graphics that talk about it. It's kind of a grind to make a sales page, not gonna lie, but once you have it done, it's the most rewarding thing, because then you have one done, you can duplicate it and make it fit into any of the other courses that you have to promote. So my systems course is $47. My monetization lounge course is $197. And then my fast track course is $497. So you can see, like, really, like, I send traffic directly to the sales page because every product is $500 or less. And so the next and best way, in my opinion, to just get volume and capture as many email subscribers as possible is a lead magnet funnel. So this is where you have a simple landing page and it'll be connected to a thank you page, and you will have a freebie offer that will attract somebody to say, okay, I will give you my name and email in exchange for this thing. And this thing could be so many different things. It could be a quiz, an ebook, templates, cheat sheet, a video series. It could be a free workshop. It could be all kinds of stuff. And the goal is to have that be delivered to your new email subscriber right away. And then after that, then they will be in your CRM. So then you can put them in a autoresponder email sequence. You can do all kinds of stuff with new email subscribers. But the point is, they are in your database forever, up until the point when they unsubscribe. And you now have somebody, a viewer, that is converted to a lead that you can communicate with outside of your YouTube channel. Other popular funnels that I've seen a lot on YouTube lately are community funnels. So this is where they either have like a free, join the community for free. School is a huge trend right now, where people are like, join my school community. So this counts as a funnel, because for those interested in being a part of community and connecting with you in a more intimate way, this is a great way to do that, is to have a community funnel. So basically the idea is they get put into a community where you offer value, where maybe you offer different live calls throughout the week or the month, and you have different course material in there, and people are able to interact with you and also other people in the group. Communities are amazing. They're excellent. They're one of the best ways to build, intimate and trustworthy relationships. And you can have a free community. You can have a super low ticket community. You can charge whatever you want for a community. Honestly, I would say most in the industry, 90% are low ticket, meaning they're anywhere from $20 a month to $200 a month type thing. So community funnels are awesome, and they work really well with YouTube because they're already building a relationship with you on YouTube. So it's only a no-brainer for somebody to join your community. Okay, now we are going to dive into something that is very important for very important for a brand new channel, but also if you have an existing channel, you might want to brush up on these channel settings and make sure that they are on or corrected to the right version. So that way, you know that all of your channel settings are optimized. So going back to starting a brand new channel, like literally starting with a brand new email account, and I want to show like how easy it could be, right? So step one, you go and create a brand new Google account. Just Google create new Gmail, right? So do that. And here's another thing that I want to emphasize is you want to create a brand new YouTube Gmail for your YouTube channel that nobody knows about. All right, I have experienced my channel before being hacked and deleted at a point where I had 91,000 subscribers. It was devastating, okay? And it was because I left a window open so that somebody on my team, it's a whole long story, but basically there was a VA on my team who got pissed at me because I let her go because she was lying about her hours. So she retaliated and hacked into my Google account and deleted my channel. Crazy. So here's how you do that is you create a brand new Gmail. Now, if you're an existing YouTuber and you're like, wait a minute, I use my Gmail account for a lot of things, for bills, for accounts. don't worry, you can still do this. You can create a brand new Gmail and transfer your current channel over to the new Gmail account. Okay, so just for context, so step one, you go create it, name, last name, first name, then you log in to your brand new YouTube channel or the Gmail that you created. Okay, and step two is very important. You have to create a branded channel. And so you can see this right here, but basically you have to create a branded channel within a YouTube channel. Does that make sense? And the way you'll know is if like one of these two screens appear. The reason why another channel or a branded channel is important is because you'll be able to add managers to your channel, which is important for the longevity and scaling of your channel. And two, you are able to change the name of the channel and like actually brand it and call it a real name. So this is, and it's pretty much like having an official business YouTube channel, kinda, if that makes sense. So channel settings, like I just want to show like what they are at a glance. Once you're in the YouTube channel, you're going to want to customize the layout, the branding, the basic info. The basic info is where like the bio is, the links to your website, etc., etc. The general settings are if you go in the YouTube studio to settings, you'll see all of these appear on the left-hand menu. And so as I mentioned, like branding is you got to upload a profile picture, channel icon, banner image, etc., etc. And so go through this list especially if you are starting from scratch. Even if you are starting, just make sure that these things are optimized. So let me go ahead and give you an example of what I mean. Okay, and I can show you, pull back the curtain of my channel. Okay, so for my YouTube channel, this brand new YouTube channel, okay, what I'm talking about here, it's easy to access like the general settings of your account. So here's general, channel. All right, you want to make sure these keywords are filled out. And by the way, I need to fill out my own channel keywords. So let's just give a couple examples right now. So my channel is about mostly YouTube for business, all things YouTube for business, and getting clients, getting leads, monetizing YouTube, growing YouTube. So all of those things, like how to grow on YouTube. So I'm just going to put a bunch of keywords that relate to my channel. You can do this exact thing for your channel as well. YouTube monetization. Let's see, what else could I put? YouTube content creation, generate leads with YouTube. Okay, YouTube for business, how to optimize your YouTube SEO, just a bunch of YouTube stuff. Okay, so this is anything at whatever your niche is, real estate, hairstylist, singing, vocal coaching, whatever it is, this all here goes in there. Okay, so I still have 500 characters that I could fill out, but for now I'm going to save them. Okay, and then when you go to customization, you want to definitely upload a banner, profile picture. This is the name of your channel, so be aware that YouTube, of course, has handles now, just like all the other social medias. So what I would say is be sure to know which handle you want, get it, and you have, like, basically this is a huge thing. Like, you can change your handle every 14 days, and if your handle's already taken, you can come up with one that's not taken. And just note that, like, you can't switch a handle. Like, if you made a mistake and it was the wrong handle, you need to wait 14 days to change it. So you definitely want to have an optimized bio right here, and then down here you want to add the links to your websites, to your lead magnets, etc., etc. So, and then here's the home tab. Basically, this is important because it's going to show what things your viewer is seeing when they go onto YouTube first. So when someone first lands on the channel, they're going to see the channel trailer. If they're a returning subscriber, they're going to see this video here. Then they'll see these videos down here. So you can like edit these. You can have them see live streams first. I prefer them to see videos. I think here also you can, if you want to drive them to certain playlists and have that be the first thing they see, you can do that as well. So all of this, you can just add a section of whatever you want, popular videos, upcoming live streams, all of these things you can edit and publish as you please. Okay, so those are the channel settings. Again, go through them one by one and just make sure they're optimized. I would say and I think if this is a big one, right? You want to go into the advanced settings. No, where is it? Channel. Feature eligibility. You want to make sure 1, 2, and 3 are enabled. This is really important to having all of these features on. Okay, and then just to come here to earn and YouTube, earning on YouTube. When you're not monetized, your channel is going to look like this, right? It's going to show you how close you are to monetizing. So I just recently made a video on this channel about how I plan to monetize it within 60 days, meaning qualify for this right here, the YouTube partnership program. And this is how close I am at the making of this video. And so when you're eligible, you will get notified to the Gmail associated with your YouTube account, and then you can officially apply. So that is how that works. Okay. So if we come back here, just make sure that you have, the channel settings, the keywords, and all of these things up to date. So that way your channel is good to go and it is fully optimized for posting and the YouTube algorithm. All right, so now let's touch on the channel purpose and pillars for your YouTube channel. This again is very, very important to not only brand new channels, but also channels that are wanting to go from stagnant to more growth and really see that viralness. Whenever somebody asks me to evaluate their channel or do a channel audit, I always ask, okay, like what is the purpose and what are the content pillars, right? Or for my clients who are starting a channel from scratch, it's like, hey, we established these things rock solid from the beginning because it matters to the brand. It matters to attracting or getting traction with the algorithm. Okay. So let's talk about the purpose of a channel. So the purpose very much is based on you as the individual and what type of value you are bringing to the marketplace, but also your personality, who you are, how you shine, right? Your heart-centered message. This is all part of the purpose of a channel. Like, I can't stand the narrative of like the 25 most profitable niches. Like, that's so stupid because it doesn't, that is the wrong approach in looking at the channel design of a YouTube channel. It just is, because it doesn't incorporate like the actual person and the brand behind it and what makes that individual or brand or people behind the YouTube channel, the creators, special to the marketplace. All right, so let me give you 2 examples of a purpose of a YouTube channel. Okay, so one, we'll go with the paleo nutrition coaching. So let's say we have a woman who is a paleo nutrition coach and coaches individuals on how to thrive with the paleo diet, right? This person targets women. And not only that, she targets individuals who are already high performance athletes. They're not trying to lose 70 pounds, right? They're already in pretty good shape and they want to gain strength and really dominate and build muscle. So that would be an example of the purpose of a channel, like a paleo nutrition coach for women who are high performance athletes who want to gain strength. Okay. This can be communicated almost like the Instagram bio. You optimize for Instagram bio. This is what you optimize for in the banner. It's like when I land on the banner, I want to be able to understand exactly what this channel is about. I want to have enough detail, but not like, don't write paragraphs on your banner. Like, don't do that. But a good, strong sentence about who you serve, your expertise, and what they will gain is really powerful. Another example, a singing coach, right? So if you're a vocal coach, singing coach, and you want to help others dominate and perform well and help people monetize their singing skill, a purpose of the channel could be a singing coach who helps young men with vocal mastery and compelling performances. Wow, that is awesome. Okay, that makes total sense. And so from there, the next step is creating the pillars. That sentence is great. That establishes the purpose. But let's just be clear that that is not going to algorithmically communicate with the YouTube algorithm. But here's what will, and that is the main content pillars, okay? AKA the content topics of the channel. So imagine that you'll be talking about 3 main things, and that's literally like the 3 kind of subtopics of the channel. And let me explain that pillars are kind of like buckets you can fill with a bunch of different video topics. The other great thing that pillars allow you to do is evolve as you evolve as an individual. Okay, so it allows you to go deep, have plenty of topics to talk about, but also evolve as a content creator as you get better with what you do, etc., etc. So here's a mistake I see with content pillars. I ask people like, okay, well, what's your channel about? And they'll say, oh, like for example, I was talking to a business coach. She coaches chiropractors on how to extend their practice. And I was like, okay, well, what's your channel about? And she was like, well, you know, a little bit of lifestyle, a little bit of business, a little bit of lessons learned from my journey. I'm like, okay, that tells me nothing. Okay. Not to be rude, but things like adventure, lifestyle, marketing, like all these things are so broad. It just does not make sense, and it won't algorithmically pick up. You want to have pillars like vegan recipes, taxes for online business, interview tips, stock market advice. That's very specific, and they are niched enough to where you can really have a focus of your channel. You can really have a lot of content topics within that one pillar. So if I go back to the singing coach example, a good example of what pillars could be for that channel are things like singing gear and equipment, like what you need to sing and perform, right? On stage, in your home, etc., etc. The business of singing, okay? That's also really important. And then also vocal mastery tips. So these 3 things are very specific. They're focused, but they have tons of different title options within each pillar. Okay, so it keeps the channel focused, narrowed down, but expansive, and allows you to feel that you can evolve as a creator, and so that you won't feel pigeonholed. I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to take a moment to shout out our own service. Okay, so if you are loving this video so far and you're wanting help with the individual customization of your YouTube channel and your business, my team and I can cover all of this for you and actually develop the purpose and channel pillars and optimize the channel ourselves, right? So if you're interested in working one-to-one with me and my team, we have a high-powered program, which is a done-for-you and consulting service where we teach you the strategy and also do the hardest parts for you. If you're interested in that, I advise you to apply. I'll leave the link right down below in the description. It is an abundant investment, and it's only for those individuals who are serious about really catapulting and leveling up their YouTube growth, taking their growth to the next level. And if that interests you at all, I advise you to apply. Application takes 2 minutes, and you can check out the different tiers and level of options to work with myself and my team. All right, so I just wanted to talk for a moment about pivoting on YouTube. There are green light scenarios to pivoting on YouTube, and also don't even try to pivot, just create a new channel. So let's talk about that for a second. And I wanted to mention this because whatever you plan to do, what I just talked about with the purpose and the pillars, you have to redefine that, especially if you are pivoting. Okay, so one of the first things that I try to understand and factor in when we are taking a client and evaluating whether we want to do a full pivot on their channel or have them start from scratch is I say, okay, what is your current niche? What do you want to pivot to? Is it completely different or is it somewhat the same? And if the answer is somewhat the same, there's a different strategy. If the answer is completely different, then you just start a new channel, okay? Don't be freaked out by starting a new channel. I've started over. This channel right here is starting over after having already generated 220,000 subscribers and 10 million views on the platform. I'm growing it completely organically, and I'm attracting an audience that is aligned with exactly what value I want to give on this channel. So don't be afraid to start over. you can do it. I strongly believe that you're meant to start more than one YouTube channel in your lifetime, okay? But if you are like, okay, I am on my current channel, I believe that I'm pivoting a little bit and it still falls kind of within the same niche, purpose, and pillars and all that, then that's definitely a sign that you can start creating the new direction content on your current channel. Okay, so let's say you have a channel about general credit repair and you were just kind of talking to anyone and everyone. But now you come to a point where you're like, well, I really actually love talking about business credit and I like talking to entrepreneurs specifically. I believe that is a scenario where you can pivot on the current channel you have because it is not so drastic. Okay, you're not pivoting from credit repair to online marketing to cooking to fitness. You get the idea. The biggest mistake I see is people trying to bunch in all different types of pillars into their channel, and that's just not efficient, right? That's just not going to work over time. So what I suggest in that case is, hey, what I would do first is unlist videos that you know are not relevant to the type of person you now want to attract. So you go to your back catalog and unlist the videos that are speaking to people that you're like, okay, no, I don't want to speak to this audience anymore. So you want the algorithm to completely stop targeting them. That's step one. And you might have to unlist a big portion and big percentage of your back catalog. That's okay. Don't freak out. Okay, so unlisting is really important. And then the next thing, again, step two is like redefining. All right, so who am I speaking to now? Purpose, and the 3 content pillars. And here's the thing. I advise no more than 3 pillars, sometimes 4, but no more than 3. Okay, when it starts to get more than 4, it just gets complicated and there likely won't be traction. Okay, so redefine what the purpose and content pillars are, and then you start creating the videos. And I also recommend you doing a, what's the word? I don't know, blitz, a content blitz on your channel. Like if you're usually posting like 4 videos a month, I would post like 10 videos a month so that you can get the algorithm to start redirecting who it wants to attract as fast as possible. Now you may or may not see views initially kind of be down. This may or may not happen. It could be because I've seen channels pivot and it's just a beautiful pivot. They get like even more views and I'm like, huh, that doesn't make sense. And there's others that pivot and it's just like, oh man, I'm really feeling the pivot. But if you embody who you want to speak to, right, and who you want to now serve on the channel and you're excited about it and the love is there and inspiration, the pivot is going to go well on YouTube. Okay. And the other thing I would do is make kind of a transitional video on your channel and be like, hey, you guys have subscribed to me for this. This is the new direction of my channel. I'm not quitting my channel, but this is the new direction we're going. That's really powerful because those that are there for you and truly love you and your brand will stay. Those that are like, not really, they'll leave, which is fine. This is what we want. Some people will stay, some people will leave. And that's okay because there's people there that subscribe to you for a certain niche or information. If they no longer vibe with it, cool. The other thing is going live could be helpful and telling people the announcement because this will re-engage your subscribers. Going live is a great way to re-engage your current subscribers. So if you're going to pivot, do it, go all in. If it's a slight pivot, I would stay on the current channel. If it's a big 180 degree, like completely different niche, just start from scratch. Promise it'll be well worth it in the future and cause a lot less headache. Okay. Before we dive in any further, I would like to talk about systems and how important they are. Specifically, I call this a YouTube execution system because what you're doing is you're executing, creating content, distributing content, and you're you're executing because you have to script, film, edit, all those things. So what helps you centralize and manage all these tasks that are associated with a YouTube channel is a project management system. Now, if you're a business owner and you don't have a project management system yet, you're in trouble. All right. You're not in trouble, but you need to get one like yesterday. And our favorite project management system is Asana. All right. I'm not even an affiliate of Asana. I've just been using it for years and I really like rave about it. It's been the foundation and the success to be able to have visualized all my projects, to be able to have managed my team members, their respective tasks to projects, and to be able to see a dashboard on the progress of all projects going on in the business, not just the YouTube channel. So Asana, again, is a free web-based tool. Like you can go to asana.com right now and create a free account. So this is equivalent to monday.com, ClickUp, Notion. What else is there? Notion. All of them are the same. And they're all amazing, right? They all have pros and probably a couple of cons, but the functionality of them are the same. So if you already have a project management system, amazing. And if not, you have to incorporate one because your business is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and grow more legs to it, right? And the more hectic it gets, it's literally impossible to operate your channel, your business, your launches, your course products from your head. So it's really important. So I'm going to give you kind of a snapshot of the behind the scenes of my Asana. But before I do, I wanted to define like why it's important and like what is a system. By the way, the way I define a system is it's a repeatable assembly line between tools, people, and processes, right? So the people are obviously you are one of the persons on your team members as well. The processes, so like the step by step on how to complete a certain task, and also the tools. So for example, there's a lot of tools associated with filming a video, which include your filming equipment, right? They include your filming devices. They include your storage. So whether you're using Google Drive or Dropbox or whatever, that is a tool that helps you to connect the moving parts and to get a task done. All right. So Asana is a big tool, a part of all the systems we use. It is the hub of what tells people what to do what and do by when. It keeps track of projects. It's phenomenal. So what I'm going to do now is go behind the scenes of my video execution system, basically. So what happens is, or the way I describe this is, this video execution system should always allow you to feel ahead of schedule, right? It's designed to give you more bandwidth, more energy. It's, again, the centralized hub of your YouTube channel tasks, but not only YouTube, but like all the categories in your business. And I credit my Asana systems and project management for the reason that I've been able to generate the amount of revenue I have been able to, the reason I've been able to, take maternity leave, take time off, and the team and processes and everything still continue to function. So I can confidently say that systems and having a project management system is one of the huge reasons why I've been able to generate multiple six figures, my first 7 figures organically with YouTube traffic. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go back into or dive into the behind the scenes of my Asana, and we'll go from there. All right. Cool. All right. So first, again, I'm at asana.com. And what I wanted to say here is that it's really easy to start a free account. You can just come here, click on get started. What you want to do first, this is very important, is you want to create an Asana account with a business email. So like name@website.com. You don't want to do it with a Gmail. And the main reason is because it sets up like a business Asana account, and you'll need that to leverage as you get bigger. So it's going to ask you a series of questions, and my Asana is very decorated because I've been using it for years. So don't, freak out. But basically, like, here's the home tab. Here's my tasks. So this is like my huge calendar that allows me to understand like what I need to do with everything, like my YouTube video projects, my launches, course, website updates, funnels, ops projects, etc. And the reason why, let me just direct your attention to like this corner right here. The reason why you want business is because the reason why you want to create an Asana with a business account is because it'll allow you to create a team. Think of a team as a category in your business, right? So I always categorize and advise my clients to categorize their business into these teams right here. All businesses have these teams, right? You can add more, but it's just kind of not necessary. So CEO tasks, which are your executive tasks and what you need to do. Sales and marketing, which is where your YouTube project will live. Clients and services and courses, right? This is where you house all of those projects. Admin and customer service, and also operations go in here, and personal. And when I mean that you can operate your entire life in Asana, I mean it. Like, I have everything that is associated with my life. Everything is in here, so I don't lose track of it. So I won't go, I have an entire course. Like, if you want to check out my systems course, it gives you everything you need to know. You can learn Asana within an hour. It'll help you catapult your productivity, your revenue, stop like operating your business from sticky notes and from your head, and it'll really allow you to save 5 to 10 hours as soon as you implement it, as soon as next week. So that course is only $47. I'll leave it in the description, and it's really, really good. So again, so coming back to sales and marketing, I want to show you this workflow. So all of my YouTube workflows look the same. Okay. So it is what I call a video tracking system. So think of this as like when you're ordering Uber Eats, you have a tracker to understand where the food is. It's the same thing with my YouTube workflow. I understand where and what progress and what status each video is in. So at the moment, I'm filming this video right here, how to start a YouTube channel that grows, gets you leads and sales. It is right here in filming. Obviously, I'm filming it. And when it was in scripting, it was over here, right? And once I get done filming it, what I'm going to do is transfer all the footage to my Google Drive, and then brief my editors on this video on what to do. And then once I'm done with that, I pass it off to my editors, and it officially goes into the editing column. And then once they're done, they move it into in review. And then I just posted this video today. So once it's published and everything's nice and neat, then it goes in the publication. All right. And the other cool thing is, like, you can house different things in here. You can house your graphics for your channel, your branding guide, your media kit. Like, you can see here the banners right there. Whatever is relevant to your channel, it could be housed here. And remember, this, tying it all together, I went over the channel pillars. These are the channel pillars of my channel. And so what I do is I create literally channel pillar columns, so that if I want to talk about a business YouTube topic, it's in here. Anything that has to do with just content creation, it goes here in YouTube growth. And then here it's like making more money in your business. It goes right here. So this is how I categorize, and each one of these templates right here is a video project template that has everything already outlined. So all I have to do, and my team, is when there's a new video project, I just come here and duplicate it, right? Click duplicate here, and it duplicates into a new task. So then let's say my next video project number is 20, right? Video 20, you'll call it whatever, how to increase revenue, whatever the name is, right? Then what it's going to do is it's going to create a new one right there. And then this is more so in like the business, increasing money in your business pillar. So I put it in here. Then it's ready to go. It auto populates all the subtasks down here. And I don't even have to think about what I have to do, because this tells me exactly what I need to do. And these tasks right here that are not assigned to me, so for example, video editing, I never do that. I always assign that to our head video editor. That will be assigned to him. And then that's it. But all these things, like I come here, like title ideas, I always assign these things to myself because I don't want to forget. So I can come here, assign it to myself, create a due date, due by Friday. And then it all shows up on my main like master calendar, which is my tasks, right? And that project is yellow. And so you'll see, I can see for this day, all these subtasks for this YouTube video are right here. So it's very nice and neat. And this is, I can't emphasize enough like how important this is to operating a YouTube channel. And like, this is one of the things we help you set up within your own channel and your business. Like I give you and clone you this template right here. So I mentioned like if you're interested in working with us, you can apply below, but this is one thing we help get you situated in, help you add your teammates, help you understand like how to script, house your thumbnails and everything in here. And this is how we execute. So like once everything's done, I can go back and see like what I did before. So it's really nice. Like it's like a packaged, finished project. I can go back and reference video 9, right? I can understand what my script was. I can see what my thumbnail was and all of these things. So this is how I do it. And this is how I've been doing it for years. And it's worked out extremely, extremely well. And you can see, let me put this one back in filming because I'm not done filming yet, but you can see that each project or task that you create, it has functionality with Google Drive. It can integrate with Dropbox and Asana and Slack, and it integrates with your favorite tools. You can attach different things from your computer, Google Drive, and it's really, really awesome. So like you can see here, I'm just showing you behind the scenes of my script. I'm actually right here, right? And filming this section right here. So now that I'm done with it, I can cross it off as done. But this is my entire script for the video. And it's all housed right in here. Okay. So hopefully this makes sense. Again, it's well worth the $47. Like I break down everything. I give you this YouTube template, workflow template, and a bunch of business templates for your business. You can check out my subscribers to sales systems course. I will link it down below. Now let's talk about the juicy parts of YouTube optimization. We're going to dive, this video is transitioning to optimization of a YouTube channel. And we cannot continue this conversation without talking about titles and thumbnails first, which is absolutely by far the most important thing about optimization. Not SEO, not tags, not secondary keywords, not like metadata in the description. It is the title and the thumbnail. I promise. Okay. But let me just break down a little bit of my strategy on exactly how I develop titles. Okay. So there's a very big difference between SEO keyword research titles versus a title that is optimized for suggested traffic, right? The titles over here are more curiosity based. They're more clickbaity. They're more, they're like less crafted and curated. Let me just give you an example. Okay. So if I was a marriage counselor or marriage therapist and my YouTube channel was about that, typically what a lot of creators think is they have to go to a keyword research tool like TubeBuddy, which I'm going to give a tutorial on in this video. And they're going to go in and they're going to type in something like for a video idea, how to save my marriage from divorce. This is a very keyword leaning SEO research title. Okay. And what I've noticed is that so many business owners and creators obsess over making sure that the title is perfectly SEO'd and optimized and that it, ranks as good and excellent in their keyword research tools. And that's like not the best thing. And here's the thing. When you have a brand new channel, it's a good idea to have a mix of both. What I teach and what I advise is like one title will be SEO'd and researched. One title will be optimized for suggested traffic and curiosity based. All right. So if we go back to the example of how to save marriage or my marriage from divorce, all right, we will see that other related topics are how to save your marriage and stop divorce, complete guide, right? How to save marriage on the brink of divorce, how to heal a broken marriage 5 techniques to save your marriage from divorce. All of these titles are great titles, right? And things that would make it stronger is, typically adding things like, in 2025, or putting some relevancy on the title, like for couples married over 10 years. Okay, something like that. What creates, or what differentiates a SEO title versus a curiosity-based title is literally that you don't use a keyword research tool. Okay, so an example of a curiosity-based title in the marriage niche would be how I saved my marriage from catastrophe and divorce in 5 easy steps. So you can kind of sense the difference, right? When I say how I saved my marriage from catastrophe and divorce in 5 steps, it has so much more power because it's you, right? It's you describing your life experience. And when people see that there's a story behind the actual title, and they're going to be like, oh, this actually worked for this person, I'm going to click. Okay, this resonates completely different than 5 ways to save your marriage from divorce, whatever, the first thing I said. And so the other thing, part 2 of this, is the thumbnail copy, right? The thumbnail copy is almost like connected to a title. It's almost like the other title. That's really important. The important thing about thumbnail copy is that it complements the title, but it is not all the words of the title, right? You don't want to stuff 10 words onto a thumbnail. I see people doing that a lot still, and I'm like, oh gosh, it's hard to read, it's distracting. So in my opinion, a good thumbnail copy for this video topic would be something like 10 years of marriage saved, right? And that, because that also like shows the viewer, like, oh, so this person, even after being married for 10 years, right, were able to save their marriage. Okay, so the thumbnail copy should be no more than 3 to 4 words. I know I just mentioned like 5 words. There's some exceptions, but the idea is it's like a headline, a big, huge headline in a newspaper back in the day, 20 years ago when we used to read newspaper, whereas the title of the thumbnail is like the explainer of the video. It's a little bit longer, and then like the body and the paragraphs of the newspaper article is your video and the presentation of work and what you're talking about in the video. So all that to be said is this is a whole ecosystem of things when it comes to title and thumbnail. Okay, so you have the title, you want it to be strong, curiosity based. You have the thumbnail copy, 3 to 4 words maximum. You want it to be powerful, a scroll stopping statement, still curiosity based, and you want it to be different than what the title says. And also the thumbnail. We haven't even touched on the thumbnail design yet. The thumbnail is literally a science. Okay, the anatomy of a thumbnail is basically broken down into a couple of things. The image, all right, the copy, and the colors. Those are all very important. The colors should be matching with the color palette of your brand. Okay, the color palette of your channel is very important. I was on a podcast the other day. Someone was interviewing me and they were like, should each thumbnail look different? I'm like, no, each thumbnail should look exactly the same. Like, I don't know where this came from, where people think they need to make every thumbnail look different. And then when you go to the channel, it just looks like a collage of a rainbow. And you're just like, what? There's different fonts, there's different colors. It's just a hot mess. No, you want a thumbnail to define your brand. So if your branding colors are blue, turquoise, and white, all right, you have a contrary color or a contrast color, a primary color, and a whatever. I'm not a branding expert, but you know what I mean. You want to have those same colors in every thumbnail. The way that you can switch it up is you can have one thumbnail be white, one thumbnail be the what did I say, teal or light blue, one thumbnail be light blue, and then switch back and forth between white and light blue, right? And then the what was it, like, let's say it's a dark blue, the dark blue would be incorporated in the text, and also if you border the background color of a copy text. So another huge mistake I see, and this is something, a best practice, is like the thumbnail image on the thumbnail needs to be big. So what I advise all my clients to do is get a white wall. So this wall in my room is white. I'm looking at this wall. It's a white wall. It just has a clock. What I advise my clients to do is take, 200 to 300 photos of yourself in one day. So that way you have thumbnail photos for an entire year, even 2 years. Okay. And you just like do expressions like boom, 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 ah, and like thinking. You can use props, like you can use your phone, oh, my baby boy, but you can use your phone. You can point, you like act like there's text right here, and then make sure that you have a graphic designer that knows how to make thumbnails. Like there's so many graphic designers. I get messages in my inbox from graphic designers like, let me increase the CTR of your thumbnail. I'm like, no, dude or girl, like you probably don't know what you're doing. And I'm sorry to say that, but a lot of people don't. Okay, I look at like their portfolio and their thumbnails and I'm like, no, this isn't gonna cut it. But make sure when you're designing your thumbnail, you want your image to be right here, like bright, like you want as close up as your face as possible. It's been proven with data points on YouTube that a closer up image of your face, right, is going to convert higher than when you're way back here and you can see like your torso and up, even some of your legs. It's just harder to see. All right. So when you do that, you typically want to put the image on the right hand side. So that way your text can fit right here. So you'll have like 2 to 3 lines of text. And then on mobile, it's optimized because the timestamp of the YouTube video won't cut off any of the words or the image in the thumbnail. So no matter how hard I try to explain this, I have so many people that still like mess up. And I hate to use the word like messed up because there's no such thing as a mistake, but there is when it comes to thumbnails. And so if you're not doing thumbnails the right way, it could stunt the growth on your channel for a very long time. Things really matter, like the brightness of the image, right? When you are taking a thumbnail picture of yourself, like sometimes people have shadows on this side of their face and it's dark, or it looks pixelated, or they cut off an arm and it's just like a cut arm hanging out, and it's just like, wait, what's going on with that arm? So listen, all that to be said, like if this is something that we help like do branding packages for YouTube. So you can find out more information on my website about like the branding packages we offer, but you gotta get thumbnails right. I hope you learn a lot of things from today, but the thumbnails is like something that has to be on point. Moving on to YouTube equipment and how to start your channel with the minimum equipment. Listen, if I still use my phone to film stuff for my channel, the phone is really all you need. Not all you need. Let me just grab this tripod since it's right here. This tripod, this is a Gorilla Pod. It's like about 40 bucks on Amazon. It's a Joby brand. I love it. This you can take with you if you're kind of doing vlog style scenes on the go. And then this phone attaches to this phone holder right here. This is the best phone holder because you can do it vertically, put the phone here, or it could be horizontal, and it's amazing. And then this adjusts up and down, and this widens and contracts. This is the greatest. I love this setup right here. So just to give a background, like I'm gonna go through different options of camera and sound and lighting. I am not a tech expert. Like there are many more sophisticated tech tutorials on this YouTube platform, but I know a thing or two, and you do not need to be a tech expert. You definitely don't need a 4K camera, but if you do, I'll talk about which ones to get. So to start, going back to the phone, like this is the number one tool I recommend. Like this is, when I started, I just had a dinky webcam and a phone. My phone is what took me to my first 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. It is amazing. Okay. It's easy, high resolution. It's probably got it's just as sophisticated as a camera, right? Fancy cameras and 4K cameras are confusing. Even to this day, I've had my camera that I'm filming on right now for years. I mean, literally, let's see, 6 years. That's crazy. And it still confuses me. I'm like, I know how to change the ISO and the color grading and all this, but then if I don't do it for months or a year, I'm like, I have no idea how this stupid camera works, and I have to relearn it. So the best thing truly is like, use your phone. All right. The rule of thumb when using your phone is like, use the back camera of the phone, because that is what is more high resolution, and that's where you're going to be able to have 4K footage. I think unless you have like the latest iPhone, whatever that is, I think the front camera can only film 1080p, which is fine, but it's just going to look not as crisp and not as pixelated as the back of a camera. Okay. So the back of the camera allows you to zoom in and out easier. It allows you to do time lapses. You can film slow motion with your camera. And, you can go to your camera settings on your iPhone or your Droid and just make sure that you have 4K selected at 30 frames per second. Okay, 60 is a lot of frames per second, and you really only need that if you're doing like super slow motion, but 30 frames per second is a really good YouTube speed. I just wanted to like note that webcams are okay. I would still prefer the crispier footage of a phone. I've had several clients that use their webcam and it's just not the best visual quality. Like, they look a little bit darker, more pixelated. The sound is off. I really do advise using your phone. I mean, I have a Logitech 1080p webcam. I've had it for years. It works great for Zoom meetings, and I do use it sometimes for simpler tutorials for like course videos, but I wouldn't have this be your number one camera. Okay. And as I mentioned, this device right here, what's it called? Smartphone tripod adapter, cell phone holder. It's $7, you guys. It's $7 on Amazon. It's so cheap. And by the way, like, I have, I'll leave a link to the studio upgrade. I spent $1,500, so $1,500 to upgrade my studio to get this Shure microphone, to get my Rodecaster audio station. I'll leave the link to that video in the resources, but basically, I give an entire tour of my YouTube home studio and where I film and how I have a standing desk. And not only is it a standing desk, but it has wheels so I can move it in the corner of this room, so it optimizes for space in my room. So anyways, and going back to the equipment, I just wanted to talk about the lighting, because the lighting is really important as well for the visual quality. You don't need like the big soft light box stuff that you see on a lot of famous YouTubers, or not even famous, just normal YouTubers studios. You just need window light. Okay, so if you're in a area, like I actually have two big windows in front of me. They're not directly in front of me, they're kind of like offset. I do use a box. It's like in the shape of a square. It's not like one of those big boxy lights that you see in fancy studios, but I do use that. That's in front of me. And I also use a zoom light. And that all this is linked in the description. So, you can there's ring lights on Amazon that start at, how much do they start? $20.99. So $21. Those are perfect. Okay. I had a ring light that I transported with me that cost $85 from Amazon. I transported that thing with me when I was a nomad, meaning when I was traveling overseas. Like, that thing fit in my suitcase. That was my only light source for years, and it worked perfect. All right. The other thing you'll need is like great audio. Okay. So if it boils down to two essential things, it's your phone to film and an audio source. And I say audio because if your audio sucks, if it's hard to understand you, if it's staticky, if it just doesn't sound good, people are not going to watch your video because the sound is annoying. People will watch your video if the visual quality is not that great, but they will not if the audio is terrible. So this is an example of a lavalier mic, which means it hooks onto your shirt, like right here. And I love this thing because you can put it under your shirt and it can come out right here, and it's close to your mouth. So like you can just move around with it. I love the lavalier mic. It is a great option. And there's adapters for it to hook into either your 4K camera or your phone. So you just have to find the right adapter, whether you're using your phone or your camera. Lavalier is a great option. They're $12.99 on Amazon, and the adapter for an iPhone or a Droid is like $7. So very, very affordable. So when it comes to camera, I love my camera for anybody. It's a Lumix Panasonic G85. It's an amazing camera. It's very affordable. I think the camera is like $600. The bundle with everything you need, lens and everything, is like 700 something. So it's very affordable. It'll last you forever. Okay. It's lasted me for years. It doesn't get super hot when you film. I've been filming on this camera today for over an hour and it's still fine. And the other one that's really good and recommended for YouTubers, which I'm considering getting, is a Sony A6700. So A6700. This is just a really solid camera. Okay, and the benefit of Sony is it integrates with more tools. So for example, I believe it directly integrates with this top of the line podcasting microphone. This is the Shure SM7B or D or whatever. Like, you see this microphone everywhere, but this was a pain in the ass to connect to my current camera. I had to buy an expensive audio station, and I don't even know how to use it. And so I had to connect this microphone to the audio station to the camera, and it was a lot of work, you guys. Like, and this is why I don't like. I'm a YouTuber. I've been a YouTuber for 7 years, and I was just like hurting when I was creating my new studio. It was a painful process because it kept me from filming for 2 months. Like, I was having so many audio problems, and I was just like, dude, I just want to film a freaking video. And I spent all this money, and I'm like, I got to figure it out. All that to be said is when you're designing your studio, or not even studio, but just a place, just grab a corner right in your home to film. That's it. Like, you don't need any fancy, like, set up your shed into a man cave or woman cave. You don't need to have a dedicated room for filming. Like, eventually, sure, but just have the minimum viable working equipment. Okay, the other thing we must talk about are the do's and don'ts of your filming space. Okay, you don't want clutter and a bunch of crap in the background. You don't want controversial things and like awards and plaques. Like, you can have an award, sure. Like, okay, obviously I have my YouTube play button right there. But one time, it was actually, I was coaching a client, and when they filmed their video, I was just like, oh my gosh, what is all that in your background? Like, they had Green Bay Packers, they had medals, they had like degrees, pictures of family. It was like the entire wall was filled with stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, take all of that. You can't film there. You don't want to have anything distracting. You want it to be clean. Like, I prefer if you have a solid white wall and that's it, over something that's terribly cluttered. All right, and make sure that when you're filming, you want to, and I'm actually kind of low, but typically when you film, you don't want a bunch of head space above your head. Okay, you want to make sure that this gap right here is closed. So typically I like to be right here. And the reason is because your editor, or you, whoever's editing the video, can't do anything up here. Okay, it's really awkward. They have to crop it out. And so make sure you are almost touching the top of the frame of the video. And that's a great reason why when you do get a better camera, you'll be able to have the flip screen so you can see yourself while you're filming. Things that I think do really well in a YouTube background or YouTube studio background is a plant. Like, a plant is a great thing. And I have a little tiny plant over there. A simple piece of art. Some LED lighting is pretty cool. If you have a minimalistic bookshelf maybe that you put in the corner. If you are, maybe you're in a niche where you are a nutritionist or a doctor or whatever. I've seen a lot of YouTubers create content in their kitchen. It's a nice kitchen. Cool. That's where you're going to film. Like, just pick where you're going to film. I also have a client who is a hairstylist. So he has a studio at home where he could film, and he also films content at his studio. where he does hair, which is pretty cool. So that is just kind of an overview of equipment. It really should be minimalistic and just slowly upgrade as you go. Like, right? Don't try to upgrade too quick and create a studio where it overwhelms you and you have too many tech issues. As you become more knowledgeable about tech and how things work, upgrade little by little, but in the beginning, keep it minimalistic. Now, when you script a video, I just want to emphasize a few things. The only important thing about scripting out the video is the intro. If you're a beginning creator, you're going to want to like script out as much as possible because you think you'll forget, right? I am a huge fan of like no scripts. For this video, I had a huge script just because it's such a long video and I wanted to really think it through so that when I filmed this video, by the way, I'm filming this video. It should be 3 hours. Hopefully it comes out. My goal is to make it over 3 hours for watch time purposes, but it's going to take me 3 filming sessions on 3 different days to film a 3-hour video. And I'll talk about my strategy behind it because I think it's an important topic for this section of the video that's about scripting and filming. So my thing is scripting is super simple. Like I have scripting templates for my clients and it's just like write down some bullet points. Like that's my secret to scripting and scripts that sell and all that. It's just like write down some bullet points and that's it. The scripting and filming, it's all about building a muscle and a skill of like talking in public. Basically, I know right now I'm not speaking in front of a crowd, but I am building a muscle of memory of what I'm saying, of my expertise. Every time like I do a podcast or I do a speaker, whatever, like I don't even care about preparing and all this because I know that whatever question I get or whatever topic I'm talking about, I can talk about like that, like without question. So I'm very confident in my speaking skills. So all this is thinking about it as building a muscle. When you dominate and get really good at creating and scripting out and just making hundreds of YouTube videos, you will notice that these skills are going to carry out in everything you do. Like public speaking is going to get easier, doing podcast interviews is going to get easier, all these things. And so let's talk about what I focus on when I script a video. That first thing is like, how can I develop what I call a fire intro or a hot intro? Okay, intros are probably my favorite thing in YouTube creation. I love them because when you think about anything you see, a movie, a trailer, other YouTube videos, what keeps you there? Like it's the intro, right? It's how intriguing the intro is. So when you're thinking about an intro, you have to think about what are my viewers going to see in the first 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds that are going to intrigue them. One of my favorite YouTubers right now who has some of the best intros on the planet is Johnny Harris, in my opinion. He is a video journalist and he is an map animation expert. So he is an expert at creating custom map animations. And that's a lot of what he does on his channel. So his intros are fire. Like they're just so fire. And so here's the thing. But for the sake of business and YouTube for business, here are some important elements of the intro that should always be there. The first thing is a hook. The second thing is the promise to your viewers. And the third thing is proof or credentials. So when we talk about hooks, it's very obvious. Like you've heard hooks so many times. It's what's going to hook the viewer into staying, for lack of better words. And it could either be in the following categories. It could be a question hook. It could be an audience call out, or it could be a dramatic statement. Okay. So if you are, for example, a men's health coach or something like that, let's go with that theme. A question style hook would be something like, hey, are you someone that has seen your metabolism slow down over the years and want to do something about it? So that's like, oh, it's asking a question. And then they're in that person's audience or avatar is going to be like, well, actually, yeah, my metabolism sucks. So they're going to be like, okay, yeah, yep, I'm hooked. Keep going. Audience call out right, is specifically calling out a certain person with a certain problem. So in the same niche, this will look like if you're a male over 50 and work an office professional job in a setting and you're stationary all day, then that is probably the number one cause of your metabolism slowdown or whatever the problem is. Okay. So I'm directly calling out those specific men over 50 who work a professional office job. Okay. Dramatic statement is something that is kind of shocking, not shocking, but like attention grabbing. And it could be a fact. It could be something that you've experienced or something to that effect, right? So in the same niche, a dramatic statement would look like, did you know that the number one cause of heart rates for men over 50 is working an office job? And they're like, what? So you can kind of like understand the dynamics of a hook. And to simplify it, like you can make the intros like a combination of one of these things. You can combine a question with a dramatic statement and stuff like that. So this is kind of like what really gets me going when I do an intro is like, ooh, what's going to be that first thing I say? Because then from there I can craft the promise. So basically, like in this video, you're telling the viewer what the video is about, right? And this is where you can include like what the topic of or what the actual title of your video is and what they're going to gain from this video, right? So to follow up with those hook examples and a promise to that, the promise could be something like, in today's video, we are diving into the number one killer of men over 50 working office professional jobs and why we've seen an increase over the past 50 years and how you can avoid it. Okay. So that's like, whoa. So I'm hooked and double hooked because now I understand like the promise of this video. Then you talk about like what your proof is or credentials or your results. Okay. So I often talk about like YouTube, business, money. So my proofs and credentials, you could say, is like, hey, I've been a creator for 7 years. I've uploaded over 1,000 videos on this platform. I've generated over 10 million views, 7 figures in revenue collectively from organic traffic. So it's like I'm spitting out my credentials. So it's like, okay, it's an immediate trust builder. And for this men's health coach, his proof can be like, hey, I've helped over 100 clients go from having a terrible metabolism to increasing their testosterone and living a life that they love or whatever, helping someone go from A to B. And that is like, okay, so this guy, health coach, knows exactly what he talks about. So those are the powerful elements of an introduction. And this is what matters so much in a YouTube intro, because what makes videos go viral is having super high retention in the introduction of a video. So moving right along into the body of the video or the experience and what else you say, just talk about your tips, right? Talk about the methods, like the stories in there, the taps, the tips, the hacks, all of those things, and just kind of walk them through the journey of the solution, right? It's always going to be value-based. Somewhere in there, preferably around 50% of the video, you want to give a call to action. Okay, I say 50% because you don't want to do it too soon, because that'll like literally repel people and people will leave the video. But in the middle of the video, think about a call to action, whether that's engagement, like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment below, all these things. Please do that on this channel right now. It'll really help boost this video to someone who needs it. But you can have engagement call to actions or business, right? So business being, hey, if you're interested in me helping you with X, Y, and Z, apply below, book a call, buy my whatever ebook, whatever it is you want to drive traffic to. Remember, we talked about offers in the beginning. That is what the call to action will do. Okay, but it could be even like watching a webinar, watching a free training, however you want to funnel people off of your video, do it around the 50% halfway mark. Okay, so all that to be said is like, you got this. You don't need to script like every single page of your script and use a teleprompter. Like, that's not going to serve you When you script out your video too much, it's going to take you longer to film. It's going to be more unnatural. When you just bring it and deliver the value and the context of the video, that's when it comes out so much better. Now, some filming tips. Listen, the biggest thing I recommend is get some food and nutrition in you. Drink water, okay? I've noticed that when I don't do those things, or when I accidentally dehydrate myself, like drink coffee, and it's just a recipe for head pounding the rest of the day. Okay, you're just like boom, boom, boom. So please hydrate. It is physical activity. Like, I don't care if you're just sitting here talking. Like, it takes effort. It takes emotion. It takes it takes creative energy. So to make sure you're performing your best, like you gotta warm up. Okay, you gotta make sure that you're feeling good, that you're hydrated, all those things. So please make sure to drink at least 20 ounces of water, 30 ounces of water before you film. It matters. Okay, the other thing I wanted to say about filming, especially if you are batch filming, which I do recommend. I've become much better at batch filming. I used to swear I could never film more than one video in a day, and now I can. I can film 3 videos in a day. I'm currently pregnant. I am 7.5 months pregnant at the making of this video. So this video is a marathon video, and let me talk to you about it. I mean, I had to strategically plan this video because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to film a 3-hour video in one day. There's just not. So what I had to do was say, okay, I have 2 hours on Tuesday, I have an hour on Wednesday, and I have 3 hours on Friday. That is when I'm going to film and construct. Okay, time blocking is one of my favorite things to do during the week. All right, I allow myself plenty of time and space. When I film a lot, I put no calls on my agenda, nothing. I keep it very clear, and all I do that day is focus on filming. If not, it's going to really shake me, all right, and burn me out and all those things. So I recommend filming in sections, okay, and even especially break it down as little as you need to. So even experienced YouTubers, I do recommend just taking a break in the middle of the video. Just recharge, take 30 seconds, a minute, just stop the camera, and then when you feel ready, take a couple deep breaths, then film again. And if you are a beginner and you're still kind of struggling to make a long video, like an 8-minute video, film in sections. Film 2 minutes at a time, 3 minutes at a time, until you get to 10 minutes of raw footage, and then you'll be done. And let's just talk about raw footage. Your raw footage is going to progress. Raw footage is the aroll, right? The footage that's coming straight from the camera after you filmed it. It does not include the editing, right? So there's going to be mistakes in your raw footage. There's going to be mess ups. There's going to be blank spaces. There's going to be pauses, all those things. So those have to get edited out. When it is edited and condensed, the final footage is obviously going to be shorter. So when you get to understand your raw footage versus final footage ratio, so if you know that if you film 15 minutes of raw footage, that's going to get you an 11-minute video, then that's what you need to aim for if you're aiming for a certain length in video. And by the way, throwing it out there, a good healthy range of length to have on YouTube is between, I would say at least 8 minutes. If you can get it to closer to 12 to 15, perfect. Okay, but don't stress yourself out. If you're like, oh my gosh, it's so hard, just start slow. Make your first milestone to consecutively create 5-minute videos, and then 7, and then 8. Just keep working and building that muscle. What else did I want to say? Look at the camera. And for some reason, I keep looking at my screen, but look directly in the lens. Be awkward. Feel awkward. You want to, when you have a conversation with someone, it's hard to look someone in the eye. It's kind of creepy, right? But when you're filming a video, it's actually easier to do this. And, but the reason you want to do it is because it's when you're looking and looking over here, it's just distracting. And people are like, why is she doing that? It's the same thing. we hesitate to look directly at someone when we speak, but when we do, the other person that's receiving the information feels more engaged and they're like, okay, this is really a cool conversation because they are looking at me directly in the eye. The other advice I have when filming is to constrain your time. So yes, give yourself a lot of time, but not too much time. And the reason being is because I noticed that the more time I give myself, the more time it'll take me to do something. Like today, I gave myself all day to film as much as I could. I didn't start filming till like 11:30. That's ridiculous. And I noticed that in between cuts and pausing and everything, I would go on Instagram and look at reels, and I would reply to emails, so I'd waste a bunch of time. So if I knew I only had 2 hours today to film, it'd probably stress me out, but I would probably get the same amount of stuff filmed in that 2 hours than I did all day long. So that could be a really good tactic, is like, hey, I got 40 minutes to film. I'm going to film as much as possible. And you just do it faster and faster and faster. Okay, it's Parkinson's law, one of the universal laws, like time or a task expands for the time that you allocate to it. So it's just like in college, if you're given an entire semester to do a thesis, when do you actually do the thesis, right? A week before it's due at the end of the semester. Never fails. I think that sounds good. And if you're really struggling to film and like get the words out of your mouth, practice with a friend. I've never had to do this, but for some clients, it's worked where they've talked with a spouse or a neighbor or somebody around you where you can say, hey, can I just rehearse my YouTube video to you? And this, this is like kind of more so if you're like literally scared to film in front of the camera, this will help you reduce that fear. But just practice with a friend.
All right, so now you've planned, you've optimized your title, your thumbnail, you've scripted, and you filmed. Now, everyone's favorite thing, editing, all right? No, seriously, editing is really what makes the masterpiece of the video project come together, okay? Let me just clarify a couple of things, because I mentioned this in a recent video regarding, I think it was a video called YouTube is now in easy mode for business owners. And one of the main reasons, in my opinion, why YouTube is on easy mode is because of the editing. You don't have to edit, okay? You don't need to have all of these fancy elements of your video. You don't need to hire editors. You can simply film, make sure it's decent, just edit out like the mistakes, right? Upload it and count it as a video on your channel. So that is definitely an option. There's a lot of pros to no editing. And I just wanted to say that the main pro of no editing is that people get a raw sense of who you are. Okay. It's almost like vlogging style, where I mentioned vlogging because vlogging is a very intimate way to get to know you, because it shows behind the scenes of your life, it shows your routine, it shows things that you normally don't talk about as subjects of your content. And so that's why people are able to connect with you at a deeper level. It's the same thing with no editing. When there are no distractions, no pop-ups, no dings and animation and effects, and it's just me and you, and that's it, baby. That is powerful, okay? That is powerful because, well, number one, people can listen as well very easily and know that they're not missing out on anything visually of the video. Number two, they can consume it a little bit faster since there's no music or anything. Like, there won't be anything weird about the audio, and they could play it back at a faster speed. And number three, it's like, hey, when someone's watching a non-edited video, they are truly invested. And likely what I've seen with my videos that are not edited, they get longer watch time because they know it's real, they know it's personable, they can grab a tea or decaf coffee, like in my subscribers to sales cup. But I think you get the idea of what I'm saying. There's a lot of really great things about no editing, and it makes you work faster, right? If you are someone who is doing and managing the channel by yourself, then no editing is nice because that's it. You're just film it all the way through, upload it, and boom, you're done. I will say though, that no matter what, you will need some type of editing software because there will be mistakes in there. So what I mean by mistakes is there's going to be gaps. I mean, I just messed up. I just coughed. I just paused for 5 seconds. Somebody who is doing and that's an error that you're going to want to edit out. So the other thing too is sometimes audio could be a little bit low. Sometimes it could be a little bit high. So those are things that are correctable after production, okay? Those are things that are very doable to manage in simple editing softwares that are free. But I would say that there's probably going to be at least a little bit of modification after you record a video. And it shouldn't take you any more, than 15-20 minutes to edit these things out, render it, and then upload it to YouTube. So let's go through a couple of the editing basics, okay, for those of you that are interested in editing. Oh, and by the way, you can do a mix of both on your channel. You can have a mix of edited videos, non-edited videos, and lightly edited videos. There's no rule against, oh, well, since all my videos are perfectly edited, then I have to make sure that every single one is, edited, or else it's going to ruin my brand. No, and vice versa. Like if all of your videos are not edited and you test out an edited video once in a while, that is perfectly fine. All right, so let's get into the types of editors, meaning the types of editing softwares that you can use depending on, not really even depending on, I'll go through whether you have a Mac or a PC computer. Okay, so that first editor is iMovie. Okay, this is only for Macs, of course. It's free. iMovie was the very first editing software I used. I loved it. It was great. There was a good amount of features on there for basic things. The cons is that there wasn't a lot of features, if that makes sense. Like a lot of the title title effects and things that you want to custom edit, you can't, but it is perfect for just those simple, quick edits that you want to make. And it's free. It's absolutely free. So you can use it as well with not only your Mac, but your iPhone. All right. So DaVinci is an editor. All right. It could be used as basic or advanced. There is a free option available. The cons of this is that it's harder to find overlays and titles, and it's harder to find tutorials on how to actually use this software. All right. So moving right up along the editing software spectrum, Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro is an editing software that is like iMovie on steroids. All right. It has many more features, many more custom animations that you can create on Final Cut Pro. You can use templates, custom native assets. The price of this is $300, so $299.99. But the con is it's only Mac. Okay, so you can't use it on a PC. There is a learning curve to this for sure. I used to know it pretty well. Like I used to be really quite good at it. Now I barely know. The only things I could do on Final Cut are just edit, chop, and cut something out, like edit the audio, edit the color, and that's it. And that's fine. I mean, that's all I need it for, because my editors do the more intense editing. Not intense. What's the word called? The more advanced editing, right? Obviously. Okay, so then there's Premiere Pro. This is like if you're looking for an editor to hire, if they don't know how to use Premiere Pro, then you're like, okay, they're probably not the best editor. Like all editors know how to use Premiere Pro, either Premiere Pro or Adobe Rush or After Effects, which I'll talk about in a second. But it's a super powered editor. It's part of the Creative Cloud. All right. And the cons is learning how to use it. I hear that it is an aggressive learning curve. All right. Adobe Rush. This is a really great option. I think also in the Premiere family. It is the cheapest option. It's $10 a month. What I love about this one is it can be used with a Mac or a PC. It's super basic, easy, no plugins. You can install templates and save settings and can get help, which is really a great thing. Now the cons are that it is pretty basic. Templates can be added, but it's kind of like in the iMovie level where it does the minimum, and that's about what you can expect. All right, so it does, kind of like half of what the other really good software, editing softwares do. Now, After Effects, this is also part of the Creative Cloud. The After Effects is known for animations, okay? All kinds of animations you can think of. And because of that, you will need a faster processor computer. And it only works if you're wanting to do your own titles and animations. And it's not to edit a full video, because I think what happens is the files just get so big. It's such a powerful tool for animations, but to create just one animation there and using that as a using that clip on a different editing software is typically the way to go. Now, what I just talked about in the huge learning curve of editing softwares, probably 95% of people do not want to do. And you shouldn't have to, honestly. And for this reason, if you are interested in working with our team, with our video editing team, who are professional YouTube editors, they know what convert, I definitely encourage you to apply to work with myself and my team, because we will place you with an internal editor for your team that is already trained. They already know all the softwares, like you don't even have to worry about it. And basically what they do is they'll customize the watch time experience for your audience based on who you're targeting, your brand, all of these things, as we really take the branding seriously and what you do and create on your video. So if that interests you, definitely check out the links below to apply to work with us, especially if you're nodding your head and you're like, okay, I just want to skip to the front of the line and I don't even want to deal with it. And I know I want professional looking edits and everything on my YouTube channel. And so, as you might have been able to guess, I'm not going to give an editing tutorial on this video. That is outside of my expertise, and I don't care to ever learn it, and so I will not teach it. But I will break down some concepts that are very important for both YouTubers to know and their editors alike, because it is important. And so let's just talk about some of the elements of editing that you have to know, whether you choose to edit the videos yourself or not. So that first component is aroll. Now, what do we mean about aroll? Aroll is the raw footage that you film from your camera. It doesn't matter which kind of camera, but if I just take a camera like I'm doing right now, this is my aroll. It will be edited by the time you're seeing this, but before it gets edited, it's going to have all my mistakes. It's going to be the raw, just uncut version of the footage. Okay, that's what aroll is. Now, B-roll are, how do I explain this? B-roll is footage on top of your A-roll footage. Like literally it goes on top in an editing software. So for example, if I'm talking about my experience and my trip to Thailand back in 2018, you see me right here in my studio and office, but what's going to show up on the screen is me jumping into a boat in Thailand. Like that clip, that footage is supplemental and it's visually showing like my past experience in Thailand. So that is called B-roll. And the cool thing about B-roll is that you can't have too much B-roll of yourself. I highly recommend that for your library, meaning a collection of B-rolls that you make for yourself or for your editor, you start to do it. For example, you can get a ton of B-roll where you film yourself working, you film yourself hiking, you film selfie videos that could be used later of yourself, just everything you do on a day-to-day basis, running, meditation, yoga, fitness, going to an event, right, behind the scenes of an event, all of these things where you take anywhere from 10-second to 20-second clips of you doing something. This is really powerful, and it's really nice because then your editor doesn't have to use the same stock footage that hundreds and thousands of creators are using from the same libraries. You can have your own B-roll, so you don't have to worry about it, and it can be custom all the time. That's really special, but you can keep building out this B-roll library for yourself and your editors, and it's very powerful over time. Then there's something called a title or a headline. So this is where like something pops up right here, or somewhere big on screen. And there's also a sub headline. So for example, in the beginning of the video, it can be, let's say the name of the video has to do with real estate. It's like, hey, top 10 real estate tips for new home buyers. Like that could be a headline you put in the beginning, and then there for the subcategories or the tips, hacks, and methods of what you're talking about, they'll have kind of screens that have a sub headline in the middle of each topic. I hope that makes sense. So that is a title, and it's a great way to keep your viewer on track so that they understand like, okay, where I am in the video. It's a nice way to categorize and separate out where you are in the video so no one gets lost. All right, so then there's a pattern interrupt. This is something, again, that your video editor or you, if you're editing, will implement. It could be a pattern interrupt, can be anything from zooming in on my face or something where maybe I do a skit or something that interrupts the flow of what you're seeing 90% of the video. And other things I'll go through that don't really matter as much. Sound effects, like there's different whooshes, like every single editing software will have a huge library of different sound effects. I like sound effects, but very, very little, like hardly at all. I think that video editors nowadays lean towards making sound effects very noisy and very frequent, and it's just gotten annoying. Okay. Music, make sure it's copyright free. There's tons of different places to get copyright free music, including on YouTube itself. Audio correction. There will be, it will be necessary most of the time to correct the audio, even just a little bit, and also the color correction. So this is the raw footage. I don't know, like maybe my editors can show like a before and after of raw footage versus color corrected, but sometimes I film and my skin is super light or it's oversaturated, so they can color correct that. And then the other last kind of main thing is that you want to make sure that you're chopping out the spaces and the long awkward pauses within what you are saying. That is what I've noticed is that could be very distracting when you're viewing a video and there's just so many pauses. Just clean it up, make sure to take them out, and it helps the video flow a whole lot better and increases watch time. So those are the main things I wanted to talk about with editing. Those are the main things I wanted to talk about with editing. Now on to our next topic. All right, now let's bust some myths about SEO. Not really bust myths, but let's define what SEO is, okay? If you're interested at all in YouTube, you know what SEO is. It's search engine optimization. You hear it being thrown around all the time. Let me just say that SEO can mean several things in the land of YouTube. All right, so let's just talk about where SEO lives and matters on YouTube, because there's several different places where SEO can take effect. That first place is the title. The title is like the god of what carries the weight of SEO for your channel and how you're going to rank on the first page of YouTube, on suggested traffic, meaning on other people's channels, and also on the home page, okay? There's a difference between the first page and the home page. There's a big difference. All right, so title. That's the biggest factor in SEO. The thumbnail. The thumbnail is also very, very important. We already dove into the anatomy of title and thumbnail, so I won't go into that. Description. So the description will also have a lot of complementary keywords to what the title is of your video, okay? And just to back up a little bit on the title, this is an old school thing. I don't even know if people care anymore, but there is a difference between long form or long tail and short tail. So long tail is pretty important when your channel is new, and that just means there's 6 or more words in the title of your video, and short tail means there's 6 words or less. Okay, so when you are optimizing a title, you definitely want it to be longer than 6 words. That's just very best practice. All right, so the description, secondary keywords, aka the tags. So this is located in the part of your video where it says tags. Okay, tags, secondary keywords, the exact same thing. All right, chapters. The chapters in your video are also helpful to the overall SEO health of your video. They help with the rankings very little bit, but they do. Then we have the transcript of the video, aka the subtitles. So what you are saying in the video is also really important because that gets decoded by the algorithm. And if what you're saying matches the topic of the title, they're like, okay, yeah, this helps. And the very last thing are hashtags. Like you can put different hashtags that appear in the title that could potentially give your videos more visibility. I've never found it really helpful, but it's technically there. Anything else that anyone that could possibly be SEO related does not matter. If you're like, oh, Marissa, you forgot about this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let's go through TubeBuddy. We're going to talk about TubeBuddy today because I still use this tool. Even though a lot of features are free on YouTube now, I think TubeBuddy is a great tool and it can be very, very useful and helpful for your workflow and doing the little SEO tasks that make a huge difference over time. All right, welcome to behind the scenes of my computer. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and upload a video because this is important to kind of a lot of what we're going to talk about here. So I'm going to pick a video that isn't necessarily a YouTube video, but it's edited. It's a VSL video. So I'm going to upload it. And as it's editing, we're going to go through some of these things because I think it's going to be very helpful for the background of today's topic. But first, I wanted to direct your attention to when you are in YouTube, the only thing you have to do to sign in, there's a TubeBuddy extension. You can't really see it, but this, it's up here. It's a Chrome extension that you install. And then once you do that, you make sure that you are logged into TubeBuddy right here. And the way you can figure that out is, you open this little, I don't even know what this is called, this little trigger. And then you come here to account and then TubeBuddy dashboard. And then here is pretty cool because now you're on the home page of your TubeBuddy account. So it has everything you need to know. You kind of get this menu right here of what's been going on. You can see member perks right here, integrations, etc., etc. And right here, you can add your YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and do that. And make sure that if you have a branded YouTube channel, which I talked about, you select the branded YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm actually gonna connect it to this new YouTube channel and select what it can have access to. I selected everything. Okay, so here we go. All right, so basically this is the menu of what it looks like. This is the starter license. The biggest feature upgrade or advantage to having Legend is right here, the A/B split testing. On my other channel, I have tons and tons of split tests, but this split testing is definitely more powerful than the new split testing feature on YouTube. So I would highly recommend creating this because here's the thing. With the Legend license, you can not only split test thumbnails, but you can split test the title, you can split test the metadata. There's all kinds of great things. And so I think it's definitely much more sophisticated than what's on the YouTube right now. So that's the hugest advantage of the Legend license. Okay, so let's just say we're here, okay? Let's just say this video is called How to Get Clients on YouTube this year. All right, let's pretend we're going to put the description here. Upload file. This is where you can upload the thumbnail file. But again, SEO. Title is SEO. Upload files here. You want to add it to playlist. Okay, I'm not going to go through every single thing, but I wanted to show, like right here, there are tags. And we'll go through this when it's, nope, it doesn't include in play commotion. Ads on, next. I just go through this very quickly, just for the sake of making sure it optimizes. And so we can look at it once it's on the official YouTube studio in the background. So right now it's checking for copyright music, which is good. All right, so no copyright issues. Next, visibility. I always leave it on unlisted because it's the best thing for optimizing. Once you're done optimizing and doing everything, then you can click save maybe put it on private, or when you schedule a video, it becomes private. So then it'll come here into content, and this is your latest video right here. One of the biggest advantages that I absolutely love about TubeBuddy is the list of best practices that are right here. Okay, so as you add chapters, as you add info cards, end screen, it's going to literally like check it off the list of all the best practices, so that I don't have to think about what I have to do. I don't have to think, oh, did I get everything? It's all right here. It'll be checked off and everything. The other thing that I love is that it can easily move back and forth between your previous videos and your latest video, right? So if I wanted to grab, to see, look, all of these things here, like my affiliate links, my disclaimer, this note, all of this is going to be the exact same on my latest video. All right. So this is kind of like half of my work is done in the description, and then I'll click save. But typically what I do is I always make sure that my lead magnet or something that I'm promoting in the video is visible within those first 2 lines of the description. That's very important. Then here, I'm not going to write one right now, or sometimes I leverage ChatGPT. I'll write a keyword rich description and I put it here. All right. Then I can come here. What I could do, TubeBuddy has this feature where you can add chapters, which is really nice. So you could change it here. Like, let's say my intro is different, and let's say it's like, get your first sale. The next chapter is right here. Insert chapter title. It's like, okay, the next one's going to be tip number 1. Okay. And so what you do is you move this thing right here along. And if you want to add a chapter right here, then you do that. Okay. Or you can add it right here, but right here it's much easier. Let's say it's like, this chapter is called Scalable YouTube Systems. And then we go move it right along to here. Want to add another one here, and so on and so forth. So this is how you do it. And the cool thing is, even this feature has a check mark or a checklist, right? Minimum of 3 chapters. All chapters must be at least 10 seconds. All chapters must have titles. So this is good. All right, this is really bad titling. Make sure you do it right. Then you click add to video, and then you'll be able to see the titles or the chapters in your video, which is really neat. Okay, so then when you are looking at your video, when you go to look at, since it's unlisted, you can see the video here, you'll be able to see the titles and chapters pop up right here. See, title 2, 1, all these things. So that's really cool. And these again are another way to add more SEO opportunity to your description. All right, so that's one cool feature. Another thing I cannot miss and mention is the tags. All right, so the tags are, TubeBuddy will basically have recommendations. So like how to start a YouTube channel. This will pop up here, and you can like select as many as you want. So let's say I want that one. Channel in 2025. Yep, all these. I don't want for kids. No. How to start. So then it's going to also recommend all of these down here, like B2B lead generation. These are good. How to get clients, video editing clients. So just what's the name of this video? Get clients. Okay. YouTube lead generation. I'll see so all of these, I would probably add YouTube channel lead generation. Okay. And then this, as you put more tags, this is going to optimize here. So this is really great because it's so easy to just boop, like add all of these until you reach the 500 marker right here. So that's really great. So these are, again, the tags, AKA the secondary keywords. And it's really important to, incorporate these. The other cool thing about TubeBuddy, which I love, is it can help you with other channels, meaning it can show you their SEO ranking. It can show you all the data for any video that you click on. So it can show you the best practices of this creator right here, Alex. It can show me like everything that she's done right. It can show me the summary of her videos on this video. But the cool thing is it can show what tags she's used, and hasn't used any tags. So let's go to this example. These are my former clients. Shout out to them, Val and Jarrett, on our next adventure. They have tags. So let's say I'm also in the RV niche. What I could do for the tags that I want on theirs is I can copy them. And this is awesome because back in the day, you would have to like go source the tags and like look for the code in the page, and it was really annoying. And you didn't know which tags on the video were performing. You just had to guess. With TubeBuddy, you can see that this one, and these are actually ranking. So these would be a good idea to include in your video as well. So you can like copy and paste. I know it's way too much, but I think like this one was ranking, and you can just delete the ones you don't want, right? Because I'm way over the limit. But that's really, really cool. So that's a feature I love, is that you can compare your channel stats to other channels and just kind of reverse engineer what they're doing to make sure it's correct. Okay, so there's all types of little tools in here that make your workflow a whole lot faster, and this is why I do recommend TubeBuddy overall for workflow, for split testing, and really making sure that your video is good to go and getting all those best practices. The other thing I mentioned was hashtags, or not hashtags. I didn't mention it. Like, so I want to put like YouTube marketing. This kind of puts the opportunity for a little bit more visibility on your channel. Not a whole lot, but putting, tags on there, they're going to show up right below the title on your video. And that's also a really good practice as well. So of course you don't want to miss the thumbnail, right? Okay, this right here, you're going to add a thumbnail photo. And again, this is an example video, so I'm just going to add an example thumbnail. These I don't ever use thumbnail analyzer, create thumbnail. I don't really use those features. So make sure again that you are applying an end screen. This is super important. I always have a playlist that I add on the end screen. Why? For the simple fact of creating that Netflix effect and getting more watch time. So I always point and say like, hey, don't go anywhere, watch this video. And I make sure I'm pointing to a playlist. And then when I come to cards, I will put links to videos and also links to my lead magnet. So when your channel, you can only do links to a website if your channel is monetized. So like, for example, I want to put a link to my lead magnet, which is my blueprint. It has to be a legit website as well. Blueprint. Okay, so they'll see like, okay, it's legit, apply. Then I'm going to add like a little cover photo here. And here I'll say like download the blueprint. I could say the same thing here, download the blueprint. Okay, and then here you're going to need a little image. It's really easy. You can create it anywhere on Canva or whatever. And then save. So you want to make sure you have a couple videos and of course the links to your website, because I always, in my video, I say, hey, call to action. Make sure if you're interested in XYZ, download here, apply here, watch webinar here, whatever the case may be. So click save, and then, yeah. Okay, so that is pre-optimization. That's basically everything. Well, I don't want to say everything because I probably missed something. But that is where you want to check the playlist, right? And the best practices that TubeBuddy gives you, and make sure you have everything covered. Okay, but this is basically my routine when I go to pre-optimize video. The only thing I didn't show was how basically I create this description of about 120 words on ChatGPT. I give it the title, I give it the subtitles of my entire video, and I say, hey, please create an SEO rich description that includes a bunch of keywords in my voice, in my style, and make a description for this video. And I give it the title like in the subtitle transcript here. And it does a really good job. So then I copy and paste that over. Again, something great that I used to have to do by hand. I used to have to think and write, which isn't a bad thing, but this definitely makes things go faster. All right, so now you are ready to press publish and play on your video and make it live and go to the world. Now, there are some things that must happen after you publish your video. Now, this is what I consider post optimization, is everything that you do after a video goes live. So we just talked about pre, right? And optimizing for SEO and all those things. Now, post is equally, if not more important, because this is where you are going to distribute your YouTube video and the link as many places as possible. So here are some great ideas that are a must and things that I do. So I always email my list a blast of the of the video, and I keep it simple. And as you can see in this, I'm going to show a live example of an email I just sent from the video prior to the one I just launched. The key feature here, and what I recommend with emails, is to keep them shorter, right? This isn't a long form email where you're trying to sell someone. Keep it short, sweet, highlight a couple things. So for example, this one was about my vlog, a day in the life. So I said, hey, first name, I'm pulling back the curtain on how my multiple six-figure YouTube systems, income breakdown, family life updates, and YouTube case study. Not only that, I just mapped out my top 4 goals for 2025, and I have a feeling at least one of them will surprise you. So kind of put in some teasers there, give about 2 to 3 things that the video is about, call it a day, sign off, give them the link to the video, and that's it. So I just put one link here to the video, one link here to the video, signed off. And then if you want to have a PS, that's fine, to promote something else, you can. Lately I've been I used to put the thumbnail like in the middle, but now I just put it at the bottom, kind of to show the sneak peek. But that's what I do. And so I send it to my entire list. And then the other thing I do that's really important, okay, I'll show this channel. So recently, this was posted today, this video here, and a must is to share it on the community tab, right? This community tab right here is a source of traffic in itself. All right, so I make sure I put a little blurb about whatever, and then I put the actual link on the same first line, right? And make sure you are leveraging your community tab. I suggest posting at least 7 times a week on the community tab because it is its own source of traffic. So I just come here and always put the latest video, and then I'll just go here and then put a title, what I want, and the link, press post. And you can schedule this too, which is really good. But the other thing I do is I customize the channel trailer. Okay, so I change this to the most current video, and then I change the feature video for returning subscribers so that there could be even more eyeballs on it, because there is traffic that goes to the trailer and the returning video. It's the first thing that both subscribers, current subscribers, and new people see on the channel. The other thing is I share the video to LinkedIn, Facebook page, and Instagram. So Instagram, that could be a whole tutorial on itself, but you can, I post it in my stories. I say, click here to watch the new video. When you go into a video right here, down here, you can click share, and you can share to Facebook. You can share to any of these. So any of these that you have, you can directly link to your channel, and then it will automatically post there when you press publish. So like, for example, here is the blurb. So what I'm going to do, so I haven't posted it on LinkedIn yet, I'll just copy and paste my description and put it here. And that's it. And then people can, and I'll just put my website or link to my lead magnet here at the bottom, and that's it. Keep it simple. So the more you post distribute, the better. Okay, so that is done. Now the other thing that you can do besides these things is you can, what I highly recommend is leverage either ManyChat or if you have Go High Level by chance, CRM, there you can create direct message. This is for Instagram. You can create direct messaging automation, meaning you post a clip or teaser of your YouTube video, and then in the comments of the video, you say, hey, comment video to get my latest video, so that people can comment the video, then automatically ManyChat or Go High Level will send them the link to your latest video. That is really cool because that's something you can do on autopilot, and that's something, a system I'm still trying to iron out, but definitely have done it, and I absolutely love it. It's a great way to share and for people to get the long form video of the piece of content that they're interested in, get them off of Instagram and onto YouTube. Now, one of the most important factors to scaling on YouTube, if not, I don't know, tied for the top number one most important factor, is a YouTube team, and the team that you have to support you behind the scenes as you scale your channel. Really, your team is going to be the lever that propels the channel forward. Okay, ultimately your goal at the end of this, or not at the end, but as you continue, is to only film in 2 hours per week or less. That is it, and have your YouTube team focus on everything else. We define a YouTube team as like a high performance YouTube team, the sales machine, growth focused, because that's like the nature of essentially what they do. So we define a YouTube team as a YouTube editor and a YouTube channel manager. Now, the reason when I took my first maternity leave with my son, I was able to still gross between 30 and 40K months and profit over 30% every single month that I was gone. And that was phenomenal. And that was because of the systems that my YouTube team and I set up prior to me leaving, but also what they did when I wasn't around, the viral strategies that they kept implementing while I was gone. Okay, so this is how important it could be, or is, not it could be, but without the team behind the channel when I had to leave, definitely the channel probably would have gone stagnant for a while. We would not have generated as many leads and sales as we did while I was gone. All right, so this is really important, and this is what sets the YouTube platform apart from I believe every other social media, is because with other social medias, well, I guess it's up and down because there are a lot of moving parts to other social medias, but with YouTube, it's very, very specific to what team members need to do. Okay, and here's the mistake you want to avoid, where somebody, a VA or an assistant that has no clue how to operate YouTube, you don't want to hire them and bring them on your team and expect them to know YouTube. No, they have to be trained. They have to understand the ecosystem. They have to know what converts. Okay, and I will get into that in like KPIs and what really needs to go on behind the scenes. But let's just talk about the team for a second here. All right, again, I categorize the team as editor and channel manager. These two people are the backbone of everything you do, and they will allow you to focus on just filming while they take care of literally everything, pre and post production, engagement, all of those things, etc. on the channel. Now, these two hires are critical to your team right now, because maybe you already have a virtual assistant or an operations manager or whatever. But the biggest mistake I see is that creators and business owners, when they have a YouTube channel, they don't outsource the task properly or soon enough, or they hold on to doing something, like ridiculous, like thumbnails, like, oh, I got to do my thumbnails. Oh, I got to write my captions. No, like all of those things could be systemized and handed off to somebody else. So that's the biggest thing I see, because think about it. Now is the priority to hire. Okay. You can hire very inexpensively, which I will go over budgeting here in a second, but you are the CEO, you are the boss, the founder of this company that you have created. And so in order to act like one, you have to hire these people for your business. Now, all of these things that I went over in today's video, there's a lot, right? And there's even more that I didn't have time to go over. And the point is they all have to get completed and done, but not by you, right? You can outsource these and hand them off to other people and make it work like butter, especially with AI being so helpful in this type of process. Things can really get systemized and work well. And I want you to think about it this way, because it puts it into perspective, right? If you are posting 2 YouTube videos per week on your YouTube channel, which is 8 videos a month, which is a very typical frequency for YouTube, you are probably, or that is associated with approximately 150 tasks altogether, between the, scripting, editing, post-production, optimizing. There's a lot. Now imagine all the other things you have to do for your business, right? You're probably doing sales, you're probably launching, creating courses, just being on podcasts, all kinds of things. Now, if you try to squeeze all those things into what you already have to do, it can become very big, perhaps overwhelming and unmanageable. And that is why it is so smart to immediately outsource the channel management and the video editing. Look, I just onboarded a client. I'm not kidding. He told me that he was spending about 30 hours a week on just figuring out editing alone. Okay. And I was like, what? That's way too much. So this is no exaggeration. When you have a video editor, you're at least saving yourself 10 to 12 hours per week, right? And that's assuming just one video, maybe 2. If you're filming 2 to 3, you have to outsource that. I mean, you'll be saving yourself upwards of 25 hours a week with that type of demand. With a channel manager, you're saving anywhere between 10 to 15 hours a week. So that's 30 combined. That's 30 to 40 hours per week. That's not an exaggeration. It's just the truth. Again, all the best practices and things, it can be easily missed if you're trying to do it all by yourself. And it's also a risk for burnout. So this is why it's also important to outsource the team. Now, what I preach at Subscribers to Sales here, this brand in my company, is that you deserve an internal YouTube team, as opposed to going out and hiring a video agency to do it for you. Video agencies can get very expensive. Video agencies charge anywhere between, $3K to $12K per month to do channel management and video editing services, which is just way too much. It can be way more cost effective than that. The thing is, when you have your own internal team, you hold the keys to your kingdom and not some agency, right? Because if the agency goes away, you're stuck with crap. What do I do now, right? So that's the important thing about having an internal team and outsourcing this yourself. And by the way, I'm going to pitch this a couple times. This is exactly what we help our clients do. Yes, we help with YouTube growth strategy, but one of the most important things is that we help place an internal team into your channel, into your business, because it is this important. Okay, so this saves our clients tens and thousands of dollars every single year, and they're completely happy because the team comes in, they learn from us, right? They learn all the viral strategies that's helped our clients generate millions of dollars, millions of organic views on the platform. They're spending anywhere from $800 a month to $2,000 a month, as opposed to, $3K, $12,000 per month, right? So it's a huge time saver. Now, I gave the analogy in the very beginning of this video, which is a long time ago, that having YouTube organic is like having solar power energy for your house. If the main electricity goes out, you always have a safe supply of energy, right, in the form of solar power. Now, think of the YouTube team as amplifying the solar power to your house, right, and spreading it out and taking it and making it last longer and having it go even faster, right? That's how I evaluate the team. Now, a lot of you don't pull the plug literally because you're too scared to hire. You're too scared of the cost of having a recurring cost month by month. But I have to emphasize that you are just one decision away from saying hey, I don't know if I can afford this team and I'm scared of what if I can't, to I'm going to find a way to incorporate this team and they are actually going to help generate me more money, which will help pay for their salaries 10 times over. Okay, so it's all about the reframing, because think about how scary it is, first of all, to not hire and to not make these moves. you're saying that you are okay with wasting time. I don't want to say wasting time because there's no such thing as waste, but you're saying you're okay with working on tasks that you shouldn't be working on, tasks that aren't the most income producing activity that you can have in your container of time per week, right? So instead of spending your time optimizing and doing SEO on a video, you should be strategizing on your next launch, right? You should be showing up for your current clients, your audience, and focusing on other money moves in your business that are really going to move the needle forward. So I guess all that to be said is not hiring will cost you your time, your life, your sanity, peace of mind, and that productive energy. I think you get where I'm going with this. And so to re-emphasize again about hiring the right team and the right people, right? This is why we're so proud of what we do at our company, because not only are we connecting you with an internal editor that already knows YouTube and that is advanced in this, but for the channel management, like we have an entire training just for them, right? All the things they should be doing, the best practices, the KPIs. If you don't know what that means key performance indicators, basically their everyday operations checklists and to-dos so that they never miss a step and that they can even self-evaluate themselves. What we do is we teach how we plug this team into our Asana systems so that they are in charge of assigning their own tasks to themselves, their own due date, and they're held accountable for making sure that the task does get completed. Okay, now let's talk about budgeting and what you can realistically expect for your YouTube team. Now, with this, I just want to say that it definitely depends on which country you're hiring from and also the demand of your channel, because I get asked this all the time, like, well, how much does it cost? And so what we say is if you're posting on average between 8 to 10 videos per month and you want a channel manager, that cost is going to vary anywhere between $300 a month anywhere to $1,500 a month, just depending solely on where people are from, right? Because if you hire from somewhere in India or in the Philippines, it's obviously going to be towards the lower end. But if you're hiring in the UK or Canada or the US, you can expect that to be closer to $1,500 per month. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say about editing is it's the same thing, right? The more videos you produce per month, like let's say you generally post 4 videos a month, or some people like they go all in and they post like, 15, 18 videos a month. That's going to require a lot of editing. So again, the pricing of editing is probably a little bit more expensive than channel management. So on the lower end, you should expect to be paying anywhere from $500 per month ish. And on the higher end, if you have a demand of 12 videos or above, you can expect to be paying anywhere from, $1,200 to $1,500 and beyond. Again, the upper thresholds is if you're hiring somebody from the US. And again, on our team, we have what we call the subscribers to sales studios. This is exclusively for our clients who have already done a high level program with us. But once they are on video editing and management retention, for the video editing alone, we charge $560 per month for 4 videos. And then for 8 videos, it is $900. I can't remember. It's like $950 a month for 8 videos. Okay. And that includes the thumbnails, that includes shorts. If they want shorts, that's optional, but it's included in that price. So just to give you a feel of like what your budgeting should be and how much you should be allocating. Now, the cool thing is, if you're monetized on the channel, which shouldn't take you long if you're starting from scratch, especially if you have a team to help you with the behind the scenes stuff, because what you can do is like leverage the Google AdSense that you're making to pay for the team. Okay, so you can justify that cost. You can justify the cost whether you have Google AdSense or not, but I'm just saying, like, think of it that way. Once you get monetized, that monthly recurring check would be, think of it as a way for you to cover the base costs of your team. And so again, if you're interested in thinking about hiring your team, your YouTube team, the right way the first time, definitely apply to work with us in the link in the description, because we are literally the best in the industry at what we do. I mean, I haven't even broken down like our hiring templates, our KPIs, like all of the resources. Like, we have YouTube team hiring down to a science, like what networks to go to, how to create an application page, what interview questions you should have, all of these things. And we understand it. So definitely, if you're interested, check out the application to work with us and see if it'll be a good fit. Now, another thing that you can do, and also your YouTube team can cover this as well, is evaluating the YouTube analytics. Now, it does seem daunting because there's just a sea of analytics when you look inside the YouTube studio, but I'm going to talk about which ones truly matter. And the first one that truly matters is the click-through rate, aka the CTR. Now, what is the click-through rate? It's the amount of clicks that you get per 100 impressions. So if 100 people see your thumbnail on, let's say, the homepage of YouTube, and 7 people click, you have a 7% click-through rate. This is really easy to locate. You can locate the click-through rate for the entire channel on the analytics section of your entire channel, or individually. Every single piece of content has its individual click-through rate. Now, it's important to, I would say, evaluate your analytics just for 30 minutes a week, and that's it, right? You can check out the videos and the analytics that you've posted so far, and this tells you so many things. So, for example, for the click-through rate, the average, a healthy range of CTR should be between 4 to 8%. Anything above 10% is really, really good. And as a matter of fact, new channels, quite common for you to have a really high click-through rate of like 13, 15, even higher than that. So the most important thing that a click-through rate is important for is your thumbnail, right? And evaluating, do I need to change my thumbnail? Because if your click-through rate is only like 1.7 or less than that, you're like, okay, it's either the title or the thumbnail that they don't like. And more than likely, your thumbnail either way can use some improving. Like, I made this mistake with this new channel where I tried to get just kind of real fancy with the thumbnail designs and try to model after popular thumbnails, which instead of doing that for certain thumbnails I have posted, because they did get low click-through rates, like 1.1% or something like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go back to the basics, and I'm going to have my graphic designer / editor redo this thumbnail so that it's just really good thumbnail best practice, right? It has, as I mentioned earlier in this video, it has the face, the big visual face, and a few words over here on the copy, and that's it. Keep it simple. The simpler a thumbnail design, the better. So what are the things that can affect the CTR naturally? So over time, as a video goes more viral, especially, the CTR is naturally going to go down. Just mathematically, it goes down. And again, as I mentioned, a healthy spot where you want your CTRs to land is 4% and 10%. That's really good, especially for a bigger channel. A bigger channel, anywhere from, I would consider a bigger channel, let's say views. I would say if your channel's getting between like 75,000 views to 200,000 views a month, if your CTR is above 4%, you're doing really well. Okay, you can get it up, of course, but that's a good place to be. Again, as we went over in the TubeBuddy and in the thumbnail section, it's very important to split test thumbnails. This is the most important part, and this is why analytics is so important, is because what you can do is you can go to a video that's a year old and you can swap out the thumbnail for a higher converting thumbnail, and literally overnight, maybe not overnight, but sometimes it is instant, that video can start to gain traction again. If it was only receiving, 100 views a month, that can go up to 10,000 views per month simply with the switch of a thumbnail, which increases the click-through rate. That's the power of re-optimizing old videos with a new thumbnail. The next metric that we want to evaluate is the audience retention and the engagement in the first minute of a YouTube video. So when you navigate to your engagement graph and you see the line of the video, what you're going to notice is that, of course, people drop off immediately after the video starts, okay? But that sweet spot where you want to maintain people is you want to have between 60 to 70% retention of people that are still there when that first minute of the video. This is good because Unfortunately, you can't re-record and re-upload that section of the video, but you can analyze what introductions have gone well, which ones had the highest retention, and what were the things that were good about them. I can guarantee you the good things are that they include some type of B-roll, they include some type of really good music, and most importantly, they're very intriguing. They have a solid hook. The information is like eye-catching from the very beginning, and that's what holds people and convinces people to stay the duration of the video, no matter how long the video is. The next thing I look at for YouTube channels all the time, and this is oftentimes the first place I go when I'm doing a YouTube audit, and that is to the traffic sources. So I go there and I look at the traffic sources, because if you don't know already, there are at least 10 different ways that YouTube generates traffic, which is really cool. And I always look for what traffic source is dominating, the top 4 traffic sources. And the first thing I notice is like, okay, what is dominating? If YouTube search is dominating, for instance, then to me, that's a red flag where I'm going to say, okay, this is probably why this channel is experiencing slower growth, where it's not getting any viral videos, and that's because it's dominating for YouTube search. A lot of people don't know that YouTube search will stunt your growth after a certain amount of time. And this isn't anyone's fault, because again, we're taught that, we need to have titles that are perfectly keyword researched and follow Google Trends and all this. But where we want to see a channel dominate is we want to have them dominating with either browse features or suggested traffic. Suggested traffic is the bomb. Like, it is like the filet mignon of traffic sources for YouTube. Why? Because this means that not only the algorithm, powered by the algorithm, but other YouTube channels are promoting your videos. So other viral videos are promoting your videos right after theirs. You're showing up all over the place. You're like omnipresent, right? So this is why it's so important. So the traffic is a really good indicator. I'm like, okay, what if my traffic sources are showing YouTube search dominant, then this tells me immediately that I need to go after switching up my title strategy, right? I need to go and post more videos that have a curiosity based thumbnail and title, because that is what's going to attract suggested traffic. Okay. And the way I do this, I went over how I did it earlier in this video, but another popular way is if you're modeling after a title that's very popular, maybe changing a word or two in the title, remixing it to your own liking. But again, trying to optimize for suggested traffic is really, really going to help you over time, right? So that your channel can go from being stagnant to scaled. So these are things I look for in an audit as well. So I look at CTR, I look at traffic sources, I look at retention, I look at, of course, thumbnails and evaluate what is going on with that. And I also look at my winning content. So what this means is I'll go to my YouTube studio, to the overall analytics tab, and I'll look at what videos were my top videos for the past 28 days. So which videos brought me the most watch time and the most subscribers. This video is what I'm going to keep pushing on the channel, meaning I will keep this video as my channel trailer. I'll continue to promote it in the community tab and drive as much traffic to it as possible. The other thing I will do is I will tell people after my videos that I record to go watch this video, right? And keep pushing traffic so it can ride the wave of virality as long as possible. Okay, to wrap this all together and to understand the bigger picture of like why optimization matters, why a YouTube team matters, why best practices matter, and everything that I talked about in this video, it's because of one key metric that I ultimately use to evaluate the health of the business side of the channel, if that makes sense. So what I mean by that is, cool, you can have a viral channel, you can have great thumbnails, and you can be getting millions of organic views, but what is that doing for your business? So that is why I invented a metric called the lead velocity. Okay, the lead velocity I define as how many leads are the views on your YouTube channel producing. So for example, how many leads are entering your CRM and being produced from, let's say 100 videos, okay? From all the data that we had from my channels, from my clients' channels, I say that if you are generating 1 lead per 50 views, that your channel is in a very, very healthy spot, okay? And this is more so if you are collecting a freebie type opt-in lead, okay? Like they're downloading a free whatever it is on your channel versus like they're filling out an application or a booked call. Like obviously, if we think about paid advertising, like with Meta or YouTube ads, a booked call lead is going to cost way more than a freebie lead, right? That opts in for a free masterclass or a free ebook or whatever. So the way I demonstrate and evaluate lead velocity, like for example, this new channel, I don't know where it's going to be by the time you see this video at this point, how big the channel will be, but what I know is that when we crossed 110 subscribers, I believe, we had generated, I think, between 20 to 25 leads to the CRM, meaning people that have downloaded my ebook. And then we also generated $1,000 in cash collected. So this is somebody who has had intentions of upgrading to our premium offer. And the estimated revenue for that sale is $17,000. So that's phenomenal. And that all was done with less than 2,000 views. Okay, so you can see how powerful YouTube traffic is. And that is why I created the lead velocity metric. Okay, so to put it in perspective, I created this table that helps evaluate what kind of cash injection you can expect from 5,000 views. Because 5,000 views means that for every, let's see, if you have a lead velocity of 50 views, right? So you're generating 1 lead per 50 views. This is what a cash injection could look like. All right. So the first type of product, if you're selling a low ticket course or tripwire, digital product, whatever, right? Let's say around the price point of $30, $37, and you get 100 leads, a conversion rate you assume of 15%. That is a $555 cash injection if your product is $37. Okay, so if you now go up to $1,000 or $997, and you can see this graph. It says conversion rates 4%. You can have a cash injection of almost $4,000. Now, for a lot of you that have higher ticket offers, what does this mean? If you're getting 100 leads to your, higher ticket funnel, assuming a super conservative and low conversion rate of 10% and a price offer of $5,000, you can realistically expect that's a $50 cash injection. Okay. So this is the power of not only the lead velocity, but the power of YouTube. Like the reason why these leads are so hot and they're so good and create sales is because they're pre-educated, pre-sold by your back catalog of YouTube videos. So this is why it's so powerful. And I hope this example makes sense. And again, we're only talking 5,000 views, which does not take long to generate. This new channel so far, we're about halfway there. And we're about, let's see, a little over 45 days after we launched the channel. Yeah, I think 45 days exactly from when we launched the channel. And we have generated about half that amount of views, at least, if not more. And we've generated 25 leads. And again, $1,000 in cash collected and $17,000 expected from this baby channel, you guys. So monetizing on YouTube for your business is the cream of the crop. But the best part, again, besides the lead generation and lead velocity you're getting for your offers, is the fact that, like, with your YouTube videos, you don't have to put any extra effort in order to monetize in so many other ways, right? One video can monetize in like 5 different ways. And so what I'm going to share now are my top clips that give the best advice on these other ways to monetize. First, starting with brand deals and immediate kit. So we'll check that out right now.
Now, the tricky part about brand deals and sponsorships is there's no magic workbook out there or instruction manual or Kelly Blue Book for how much creators are to get paid per X amount of whatever. Okay. And it all varies by YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, which I don't know about TikTok anymore because there's so much drama with it getting banned over the past 3 years. But what I can confidently talk about is YouTube and how to price your very special videos for your channel. So let's get into it. And this is a disclaimer. This is what I use, but this by no means is what you have to go by. This is just a rough draft. Okay. This is me saying, like, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a brand and sponsorship advisor. This is just what I do. So do it at your discretion. However, this has worked really well. So let's talk about what I call the baseline metrics for pricing. Let's just dive into it. So if your channel is getting anywhere from 75,000 to 100,000 monthly views from long form content, right? This isn't from shorts. Like if you have a channel full of short video views, that's not really going to work and be convincing. So I would say a dedicated video, you should be charging $4,500 or more. Okay. For a 60 to 90 second integration or mention, charge between 2,000 and 2,500 views confidently. And we'll talk about why confidently in a second. So for the tier of 30,000 to 50,000 monthly views, a dedicated video, you should be charging between 2,000 to 2,500. For a 60 to 90 second mention, you should be charging anywhere between $800 to $1,000 for that, and scale your pricing up or down based on these metrics. Okay. And let me clarify what dedicated video means, because typically I've seen hundreds of requests in my inbox that I've honestly just ignored because they're just not a good fit and they don't have the budget either. A dedicated video means at least a video that's typically about 8 minutes or longer. So if your YouTube videos, let's just assume the average for most creators videos are like 8 to 15 minutes. So I would say a dedicated video takes up like 70% of the video is how I've always looked at it. When I do a dedicated video for a sponsor, they've always been at least 15 minutes or longer because I just have so much to talk about and demonstrate. I'm usually sponsoring a tool, an online business tool, a software. I don't think I've ever sponsored with like a physical product, but I get to know the product in and out, how it applies to my business, how it could apply to my audience's business, and that will take up a full dedicated time. So that is a dedicated video. A video mention is exactly what it sounds like, where you're talking, the majority of the video is about you, your brand, your topic, whatever you want to talk about, but you quickly mention the company and their product very quickly in 60 to 90 seconds because it relates to this segment of the video. So for example, if Epidemic Sound were sponsoring this video and I talked about how important sound was to your blog or your videos in general and how copyright-free music is very important, you could insert a clip about, hey, by the way, this video is sponsored by Epidemic Sound. They have an entire library of copyright-free music, etc., etc. And then you say, hey, link in the comments, link up here. And then that's what the mention typically looks like. Now, beyond this, there's other things companies will ask for. For example, can you send your email list a blast? Well, you would calculate that based on your email, like email size, the open rate, the health of your email list. People can ask to put their their link to their product in the first page of your comment section. So the pinned comment in your comments is a source of traffic. Companies can ask that you can put the link in your community tab because that's also another source of traffic. So the more places you put the link, the more you can charge. Like, oh, hey, add-on, if you want me to give a shout out on my community tab and do a whole carousel, that'll be an extra $500 or whatever the case may be. So all these things you want to clarify with the brand, because the more that they want exclusivity, the more, or I wouldn't say the more, but if they don't want to do revenue share, then your price is definitely going to go up because there's nothing in it for you except for a one-time fee. I always go for the affiliate commission part plus an upfront fee because then I could make, passive income from this video on top of the upfront fee that I get paid for my time to script it authentically, have my editors do an incredible job because we go above and beyond for our sponsored videos. But I wanted to mention like revenue share, exclusivity, all those things are incredibly important and should be reviewed in the contract as well. And one thing I want to advise is subscriber count and view count. Like There was one company once who wanted to pay me like $2,000. I think their budget was $2,000 for a dedicated video. And I was able to negotiate $4,800, I think. So their argument to me was, oh, well, you only have, at the time I had 100,000 subscribers, and for your channel size and this and that, we typically, you know, don't X, Y, Z, whatever. It was just so stupid. And I'm like, listen, my audience loves topics about websites because it was a website involved software. And I was like, here's some case studies of my own videos. Here's some case studies of traffic I've generated in X, Y, and Z. And they're like, okay. And I was able to say, like, look, the subscriber count on my channel has nothing to do with anything. It's all about the amount of views and the quality of those people that are actually watching the video and who are going to potentially buy the product. And I had high quality in both of those areas. Also consider that, hey, you are a busy entrepreneur. You're most likely a coach, creator, course creator, subject matter expert, real estate agent, or however, like however you identify as a business owner. You're wanting YouTube to generate traffic for your own clients, to generate your own leads to your own business, to promote your products and services. So when you do a sponsored video, keep in mind they are stealing your traffic. They're paying for it, but that's why they need to pay a premium price, is because they're taking away the opportunity for an evergreen video to send traffic to your brand. So this is why when companies ask me my rates, I'm like, you probably can't afford my rates, or I shoot very high. I go, you know, if I want to be paid $4,000, I'll be like, hey, you know, I charge $8,000 and then negotiate down from there, because I know my worth. And especially now that I've been doing high ticket sales for my own program, I'm like, like a number is just a number. Like people will be like, oh, I don't have the budget. And I'm like, you don't have the budget, but you have budget to do paid ads and send cold traffic to your products with like, so here's what gets me is like, people expect for creator sponsored videos to be cheap, which blows my mind, because when you're investing in YouTube ads or meta ads, you're investing so much more money in that, because you have to have the team to create the ad campaigns, to create the videos, to create these lookalike audiences, to season a pixel, to drive traffic to a landing page that you don't even know if that converts. And it's so stupid to me that all of that costs way more than paying someone with a warm audience and dedicated video. Like, hey, this person's going to take care of all the creativity, all the ad campaigns, all of that. And they have a warm audience, and that warm audience is interested in what you have to offer. So that makes me even more upset, is like, hey man, like we meaning myself and all other fellow YouTube creators, we're doing the very heavy lifting, and we're doing this campaign from beginning to end with the warm audience. Like, pay what we're worth. You could not get away from paying Meta $2,000 to get 100,000 views. Like, that's not even a real thing. One of the biggest mistakes I've made in brand deals and sponsorships is not charging enough and having a video go super viral. And I'm glad it did. That's cool. But I'm like, man, if I would have known it was going to go viral, like over 200,000 views, 300,000 views, I would have charged like 10 grand, 15 grand for this. And then we also have Google AdSense and being a part of the YouTube partnership program. About 4 years ago, my income month to month was heavily more dominant with YouTube AdSense. Okay. I would make between $9,000 to $12,000 a month with YouTube AdSense. What this means is that your channel gets qualified for the YouTube partnership program. Now, what's exciting about channels that have started, I think after 2023, including this channel that I'm on right now, monetization requirements are lower. So now what your channel needs is 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours within the past 12 months. So technically I have 12 months to do this, but I'm going to try to do it in 2. And then also affiliate marketing, one of my absolute favorites. I have posted hundreds of tutorials on the YouTube platform about affiliate marketing, but the bottom line is everyone should be doing affiliate marketing, okay? It is like the low-hanging fruit of getting extra income to your business from tools, products, and services that you're already using, okay? When I first got started on YouTube, my very first year,
I was able to make over $100,000. And a big reason I was able to do that was because of the affiliate commission income that I was generating. Now, the best products to promote are the softwares and the tools that you're already using in your business, right? Promote them on your YouTube channel, on your website, in the description of places, because people will gladly use your affiliate link just because they know you use that tool and because you told them about it and because it doesn't cost them any extra money to sign up under your affiliate link and then for you to get the commission. I mentioned in a recent video that my goal is to get my affiliate income up to $10,000 per month, which it has been at one time, but it's been a very long time. Okay. But affiliate commissions are so incredible, but I would love to increase my affiliate commissions for a new tool that we started using in the business. That's Go High Level. But I love promoting tools that I use that have a recurring monthly income commission, if that makes sense, because it truly is the closest thing out of everything to being passive, because you make the sale, you get rewarded really nicely for it. You don't have to do any of the fulfillment, and that's it. Like, your job, you promote it once, your job is done. So you just sit back and receive the affiliate commission. So everyone is happy. All right. All I ask, if you enjoyed this mega tutorial, is that you like it, share it with a colleague or friend that you know can use this advice. If it aligns, I'd love to work with you and see if we can help you implement all these things for your channel. But for now, check out my playlist on similar topics that are coming up. All you got to do is check out the video coming right up, and that's right here. So just go right here and click.